What is going on, everybody? This is TPL Live. I am Justin at J_Persichetti. This is Dibes, aka Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Today we're going to have a live stream of Watch Party on the Cavs and Sixers games. How excited are you, Dibes?
Let's go, baby. Sixers are 2-0. Look to get their second win on the road. What is that? Did they even have 2 wins on the road last year? I'm not sure.
I mean, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not. But I mean, listen. The nice thing is the percentages of the beginning of the season are looking pretty good for us right now. So far, 100% on the road and home. So you can't say much about that. But what are your expectations for today's game?
Expectations is it might be the Cleveland Cavaliers, but the matchup between Joel Embiid and Andre Drummond is by far one of the most entertaining matchups of the year. You look at these two going at it. Andre Drummond versus Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is 6-1 versus Andre Drummond. Joel Embiid saves his best performances versus this guy. Nearly 28 points per game, 10 boards, 2 assists, and 1.6 blocks. Some of his most memorable moments last year came versus Andre Drummond when he sold him on the pump fake and just slammed it. So Joel Embiid versus Andre Drummond is the thing to watch. Besides that, though, what you love to see versus the game last night against the Knicks was the gelling, the more cohesion, the more chemistry between the Sixers starting lineup. We had Seth Curry finally show up. We've had Danny Green playing great defense. The chemistry between Ben and Joel in the pick and roll looked great. So there was a lot of positives from the Sixers starting lineup that I think you're going to I really want to see in this game versus the Cavs. All signs point to a very comfortable win for the Sixers tonight. You couldn't say that in 2019, 2020 under Brett Brown, but under Doc Rivers, things are a lot different. I love seeing the defense that I saw versus the Knicks. I want to see that defense carry over into tonight.
So the expectations for you are pretty high, I think. You're thinking a comfortable win right now. I mean, yeah, I get that. I mean, I'm in the same boat. I expect this to be a pretty easy win, especially after what I saw against the Knicks yesterday. I think it's going to be a pretty comfortable win. I'm really excited. My expectations in general for the game are easy win, and my expectations are Joel Embiid is going to have a big game. He always stands up for games against Andre Drummond. I mean, he does have that key phrase saying he's got some little bit of real estate in Andre Drummond's head. So we're gonna see if he can buy a little bit more of that tonight. But I'm excited. I hope everybody watching right now is excited. It should be a fun game to watch. Hopefully that offense can get things going. That last game I think they had 12 turnovers, was it? And the game before that 16. So hopefully we can get on the right track and maybe even make those a little less. It's progressively gotten lower. So hopefully we can get the turnovers a little less and we get that 3-0, baby.
Yep. I mean, only, I believe, 5 turnovers from the starting lineup. Like, when's the last time that happened?
Honestly?
I don't know. So what you want to see, and like my last comment, we got a good ways before this game starts. Last night's watch party, all we hear is trade Ben, trade Ben, trade Ben. Oh my God, the Nets. Oh my God, the Nets. And like James, we have to bring in James Harden. Zach LaVine, pump the brakes, guys. Pump the brakes. Let's watch this team gel. We finally have a Sixers team that has a supporting cast to build around Ben and Joel. Finally, we have a second unit that can actually put points on the board when Ben and Joel are on the bench. Pump the brakes, guys. Let's see Seth and Joel build their chemistry in the 2-man game. Let's wait and see Ben and Joel learn the pick and roll. Guys, just pump the brakes. Let's see this team, build on their defense. The offense will come. Pump the brakes on all these trades, guys. It's crazy. It makes me crazy.
And with that, like, why do you think people – and comment and say this in the comments too, guys. Why is it that we are so hung up on wanting to trade away Ben Simmons and even with seeing Kevin Durant on the Nets, why are we hung up on wanting James Harden to come here when we obviously see that growth can happen with this team? So, like, I answer that for me, Dibes. And if you can in the comments, guys, let us know there too.
There is no – the answer is you can't trade Ben Simmons. You look at the wings The just so many great wings in this Eastern Conference. Yes, the James Harden and Joel Embiid pick and roll would be outstanding, but you also have to stop people. It's 50% of the game. Who the hell would stop Kevin Durant? Who the hell would stop Jason Tatum in the playoffs? Guys, just pump the brakes. Ben Simmons, that was the most classic stat line ever for Ben Simmons. 15 points, just almost 9 boards and something like 8 assists.
Yeah, I think he had like 6 excuse me. I think he had like 6 or 7 assists that last game. Let me get on that. But in general, you're not wrong, at all. Like he is playing his typical self, and it's good. And it's especially for the team they have around him this year. And I think that's what people are not understanding enough is, of course, Harden is an amazing basketball player. He has an amazing skill set that any team would want to have on their roster. The problem is in my opinion, is that our bench depth is going to be such a big factor for this team, and it's something that the Sixers have not had for as long as I can remember, honestly. So, with that being said, you train for James Harden, you're definitely getting rid of Tyrese and Shake Milton, in my opinion. And both of those are the young assets that you could see them being next to Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid eventually, and they're young. Both Tyrese is turning 20 or is 20?
He just turned 20.
Yeah, and Shake Milton is 23. Those are two guys that fit the timeline with this team, and even after the timeline of Joel and Ben maybe are gone. Yeah. So for me personally, I'm not giving up on that unless they're asking for just a Tobias Harris and
of course.
But honestly, it just doesn't, in general, it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
With that being said, let's move on from James Harden. I don't want to talk about him for right now.
Thank you. It's just nonsense. I know it's going to come up. I know we're going to get spammed by all these comments by stupid NBA fans that don't watch the game and hate on Ben Simmons because they don't watch the game. If you watched that game last night, you would understand how much that guy impacts the game. And anytime someone comes on here and comments, Ben needs to shoot, you're not paying attention. You don't know basketball.
And listen, we're not sitting here saying that Ben Simmons is the best basketball player in the league. We're not sitting here saying that he's necessarily better than James Harden. What I'm saying is that Ben Simmons fits better for what this team needs. He fits better when it comes to facilitating for the people around him, drives to the basketball, plays immaculate defense, should have been the defensive player of the year if he was healthy, and hopefully will be that this year. So this comment I thought was kind of funny. I wish Harden was never born. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far, but it would maybe make people not talk about him, you know?
But every time he put up 44 and 17, every time we see a stat line like that from James Harden, it's going to show up on Sixers Twitter. It makes me nauseous. Mm-hmm. It makes me
I get it. And I mean, listen, he is an amazing player, just not what I need with getting rid of Ben Simmons. No.
This one is this is going to give me life after this Eagles loss. I'm watching the game right now. I'm sure as pretty much all of us are right now. Yep. Eagles are down 30-17. Jalen Hurts played well, but man, that Eagles defense, woo!
Yeah, I mean, ever since a lot of that secondary went down, especially in that safety group. I guess especially in both groups, it just hasn't looked good. I mean, to be honest with you, Avonte Maddox hasn't been playing very well on the outside corner spot anyway. We know he's a slot corner. He's not an outside corner. He just doesn't have the athleticism, speed, size to play that position, in my opinion. And it just doesn't look good.
I love this one. So glad you guys chose these Sixers over the Eagles. That would have been tragic. We were contemplating about doing both, but that would have
been a very long day. Long day.
Anyway, the Eagles are on right now, so if something happens before the Sixers game starts, I'll bring it up.
I'll just switch the background to Eagles. We'll just go right in the Eagles chat. Yep. I think this is interesting. Wrong one. How about a trade for LaVine? Now, this has been a discussion before. I personally don't think LaVine is going to be available for the Sixers unless you're giving up a guy like Ben. Just because LaVine is still young, he's a dynamic scorer. Obviously, he's not the best defender, obviously, but he's just it's not realistic if you're trying to just give up Tobias Harris for him. He's too young. He's too good of an asset for that team.
Why would you trade Zach LaVine for Tobias Harris?
Yeah, no, it wouldn't happen. That's what I'm saying.
Like, no. Guys, stop. Like, why would Chicago, in their right mind, trade Zach LaVine for Tobias Harris? Because you're not trading Ben, and that is it's just nonsense. And if you do, like, then you gut your entire depth. Like I'm said what I said about James Harden. Just pump the brakes. Let's watch this team figure it out on offense. The defense has been outstanding so far. Outstanding. The defensive rating from the team last night was 94.1. 94.1. Do you know what the defensive rating for the Sixers was last year on the road? 112.1. I know it's the Knicks. Let's watch this team offensively get it together. The chemistry, the supporting cast, the roster construction, it works. It looks great. And I'm just sick and tired of talking all about these trade potentials and all this stuff. Like, I love what I'm watching right now.
No, I agree. And something that I'm interested to see, because we've seen them how they are in excuse me, we've seen how they are against an explosive point guard and a legit scorer in Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. We saw yesterday how they were going against a guy like RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. We see how they are against those guys. I'm really interested to see how they are against these young, smaller guards who honestly are very good scorers. I'm interested to see how Colin Sexton, Darius Garland are handled. Both of them have had really good beginnings of the season so far. The fact that Colin Sexton is averaging almost 30 points in his first 2 games, that says something. Darius Garland, 21 and 9 assists. It's going to be really interesting. And Andre Drummond to clean up those boards for those 2 shooters. So I'm interested to see how we defend them. The Sixers have been known to not be amazing on guarding guards under Brett Brown. Guys like Dinwiddie gave us a lot of struggles. So I'm wondering how that's going to be with Colin Sexton and Darius Garland. What do you think, Debs?
Yeah, I was actually really excited to see Isaac Okoro, but it looks like he's going to miss the game tonight.
Maybe we should go over that real quick. People who are out for this game for the Cavs are Matthew Dellavedova, Kevin Porter Jr., Dylan Windler, Isaac Okoro, and I believe Kevin Love is out as well. He was listed as questionable today. I can go and look that up while you talk about Isaac Okoro if you would like.
Yeah, really cool. Just interception in the end zone. All right. Sorry, Eagles fans. If you're a team draft pick, I guess that's a good thing. That's good news. But yeah, the Jalen Hurts just threw an end zone interception. Isaac Okoro is a really fun draft pick, lottery selection out of Auburn. And he was a very good defensive player. And with him out, I just have no idea who's going to defend Ben Simmons. So that's going to be kind of the storyline there is Ben Simmons should have matchup problems all night long. And I really want to see Ben really take advantage of that, like in the paint, have him back down, get him near the rim. And I don't see any way that the Cleveland Cavaliers have an answer for this guy because Embiid and Drummond will be going at it. So a lot of fun stuff here. Like I said, all signs point to a pretty good Sixers victory. I was on the Daily Dose with my man Dylan and Kent earlier today, and I predicted – I believe it was 122 to 106, 108. So I'm expecting a pretty good victory here for the Sixers. Actually, I was a few points short of game 1 in my prediction, and I was pretty much right on it. I predicted the Sixers to win by 18. They won by 20 versus the Knicks. So I'm around that 14 to 16 point range for the Sixers. I'm feeling pretty good today. What about you?
And something that's interesting that's happened with the Sixers in the past years with Brett Brown is that we've constantly been worried about them playing down to competition, like Diverse Conscious has said here. And obviously, like yesterday, that kind of proved to me that we may not be like that this year. We'll see what happens. And I'm really hopeful that that's not how it is because yesterday we actually got we didn't have to hold our breaths. And that's something we feel like we always had to do with the Sixers in past years. So we'll see what happens, but I'm very optimistic that this is going to be a pretty easy game for the Sixers if they play like I expect them to play. I could not find if Kevin Love was active or not. I'm assuming he's a game time decision at this point because he's questionable. So right. We will see. But yeah, I know Isaac Okoro is out, and based on what you were saying with that, I am wondering who do you think the Cavs are going to have on him with Isaac Okoro have on Ben Simmons with Isaac Okoro being out? I mean, Chetty Osman's probably going to be in the starting lineup for them, and he is not what we call a plus defender. So I'm really wondering who they end up putting on him, because Colin Sexton, Darius Garland, both around 6 foot tall. Kevin Love possibly out. Like I'm just not sure where that size is.
Yeah, this is a very good matchup for Ben Simmons here. If I had to pick a star of the game, other than Ben or Joel, I'd probably go Shake. For today, I think we're going to get a bounce back game for Shake Milton tonight. But I mean, Joel Embiid just cooks against Andre Drummond. You look at the roster and how that they won't be able to stop Ben Simmons. Like, this is just all signs point to a very good Sixers victory, and we saw that playing down to their competition. That's not this year's Sixers, man. I'm seeing coaches that a coach that is adjusting.
Oh, hold on, real quick. Starting lineup for today: Simmons, Curry, Howard, Harris, Green.
Hey,
is Embiid's out today?
Is he out?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He must be if he's not starting. Keith Pompey just tweeted that out. So Embiid out versus Cavs with back tightness. Who expected that? Not me. So right. I mean, I'm not necessarily surprised with this. I think it's a back-to-back. I don't think anybody is surprised by this, but I know it seems that the Sixers organization has been a little bit more careful about releasing information. Because obviously when Brett Brown was the coach here, he would kind of tell us that, at back-to-backs, Embiid's not going to play. So this was no warning, game-time decision, I guess, or I don't know.
I'm changing my player of the game to Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard is about to play 30-plus minutes tonight, and that is just going to be a phenomenal thing to watch. Ben Simmons or Dwight Howard has been absolutely terrific in these 2 games. He's averaging 16 points and nearly 20 boards per 16 minutes. His presence on and off the court with Joel Embiid and the kids as a mentor has been outstanding. I want to throw some stats at you here. 1 second. Through 2 games, Dwight Howard has an average offensive rating of 132.5, a defensive rating of 92, and a rebound percentage of 31.35%. And
by the way, for people who don't understand stats, like that's really good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. The Sixers haven't had a backup like that in forever. And I'm really excited now. Like, I had Ben Simmons as just going to have a monster game tonight. Watching him and Dwight in the pick and roll tonight is going to be really, really fun. Really fun.
And here's what's interesting. We're going to see the Tony Bradley Jr. today.
Yeah.
We are.
Bradley
Coyle said it best. We're going to see the Tony Bradley Jr. And I know Rob's probably excited about that. Maybe Rob will hop on here for a little bit at some point. I know he's excited about that. So we'll see how he does running that backup spot. Maybe it could be Poirier. What do you think? Who do you think runs that backup spot tonight, Poirier or Tony Bradley Jr.?
It'll most likely be Ben Simmons. Backup center.
Okay.
As small ball center. And then it'll be Tony Bradley. For sure.
Gotcha. That's something I'm excited about, the possibility of Ben Simmons running that small ball center, and as Matt McGinty, aka Ginn, has said as well. I think it could be really interesting putting those shooters around him. I'm very curious to see how that lineup's going to look today with Joel not being on the court. So we'll see.
Oh no! Did Jalen Hurts fumble?
That's what
no! Why
bad?
Fumble Hurts. There it is.
Game over. Season over.
I liked what I saw from Tony Bradley in the preseason. I think he's fine. I don't get this Vincent Poirier love. I'm rooting for him, but it'll clearly be Tony Bradley. But before that, it'll probably be Ben Simmons. Oh, he's down. It'll most likely be Ben Simmons in a small ball 5 lineup and just run shooters across the perimeter.
So with that, being that they're going to run shooters, do you think, and mind you, I don't know if we can call Matisse a shooter, but do you think Matisse gets some more run today like he did yesterday?
Great question. Who knows if this is like a rest game? Maybe that's a sign for Matisse. I think Tyrese should be in for Matisse Thybulle. I think that's a guy that can facilitate a pick and roll. And sorry, I'm really impressed.
No, you're good.
I think it's definitely more beneficial for Tyrese Maxey to get more on-court time, learning how to run the pick and roll, building chemistry with his teammates. It'll be interesting to watch. I was really shocked to see Matisse get second half minutes over Maxey. So we'll see what happens tonight. We will see what happens tonight.
Something I'm very curious about is if the Sixers under Doc Rivers can get a dub without Embiid on the floor. Because that's something that has been and you notice in the past 2 games that a lot of times in crunch time when we're struggling, they throw Embiid in the post and they just ask him to go at it. And he's been doing really well in the first 2 games, especially in that Wizards game where at the end he scored. I don't remember how many points he scored in the last 5 minutes of that game, but it was a lot. So that's something I'm interested in with him being out of the game. If on the chance that this game turns to crunch time, are we going to be okay? Can we handle that in the half court? What is that going to look like? That's what I'm curious about.
I don't know who the dude was last night that came on here during our watch party with the Knicks and was saying to start Dwight Howard over Joel Embiid. So I hope they join. That would be really fun. I honestly do think the offense could be more efficient tonight. Because Dwight just thrives as a roller to the basket. 68% field goal percentage as a roller last season. This guy is just a maestro when it comes to the pick and roll. And with Ben, I think we're going to see – I think over-under, guys. Let us know in the comment section. I'm going to go lobs from Ben Simmons to Dwight Howard, over-under 2.5. Over-under 2.5 lobs to Dwight Howard tonight.
I'm going a hard over on that one. Hard. If Dwight is starting and you got Ben Simmons running pick and rolls with him, I'm going a hard over on that one.
It's going to be terrific.
Diverse Conscious says offense is going to be lightning fast. I completely agree. Having Dwight Howard run down the court with Ben Simmons, having those shooters out there, completely agree with you. I think this offense is going to be moving at a very, very fast pace. And he also said Lob City night.
Yeah. Well said about the pace. You saw the pace in game 1. It was like around 114 or something like that, well above their average. Last night was really slow. There was a very slow pace versus the Knicks. And with Joel Embiid out, you're going to see the offense just, the pace is going to go way up tonight. Well said.
This is a nice point right here. Dwight Howard going to have a friendly game with former Laker teammate JaVale McGee. It could be interesting. I don't know if any of you guys, anybody else on here saw this highlight of JaVale McGee taking the ball full court last game and dunking it on somebody. That was a pretty nice highlight for JaVale. But we'll see. We'll see how he does tonight. We'll see.
Dwight's gonna have a monster. I bet he hits 15 boards tonight. He's gonna have a monster.
Oh yes, I would be surprised if he didn't. To be honest with you. I mean, what is his per 36? Because isn't his per 36 ridiculous? Isn't it something like 20 rebounds or something like that?
Yeah, I have it right here. It's 16. Hold on a sec. It's 16.1 points, 19.9 boards, 2.5 blocks, and 1.2 steals per 36.
Yeah. And it would not surprise me if he got those numbers. It really wouldn't. The 19 boards, that would not surprise me.
All right. So I was a Shake Milton player of the game guy. I'm going Dwight. Double down on Dwight tonight.
I'm going to go Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons is going to have a massive game tonight. I'm calling a triple-double for Ben Simmons tonight. I'm calling it right now. You heard it here first. If it happens, tweet at me at J_Persichetti because I think I'm almost positive right now that he's going to have a triple-double. He's been close without Joel with Joel on the court. He's going to have more rebounds. He's going to have more assists because Joe's not going to have that ball in the post. So it's gonna be interesting.
There it is. Did I take Shake or did I take Dwight? I don't even remember.
You took. I think you said Shake and then you changed it to Dwight. I think Matt's right.
Oh really? All right.
I think you did.
I'm with Dwight then. Dwight Howard, baby. Let's go.
Oh man, where was it? Oh, right here. I want to talk about this a little bit. Bradley, because we talked about this a little bit in the beginning before the season started. How Bradley is trying to be seen as kind of a both roles as a power forward and a center, because he can shoot the ball a little bit. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think he can be used in that power forward role as well, or do you think he's just strictly a center for the Sixers?
Good question. God, they don't. I mean, it depends on how. We need Mike Scott to really, step up. I need to see what he is. He looked great in the preseason. His mechanics were back. His footwork was back. He seemed like a much more confident shooter during that preseason. We haven't really seen much from Mike Scott this season so far. But that is a big area that the Sixers do not have. And I'm talking about like a backup forward, a young forward that can play with Ben and Joel. I'd say Bradley for now is a center. Mostly because of the defensive versatility we have on the roster as we're currently constructed. So I'll say center. But what about you?
No, I mean, I agree with that. I think with having Tobias Harris, who's making, a lot of money, and Mike Scott as well running that backup spot, I think we have guys that can run it there. I think you're going to see a little bit more of this as well, where they're experimenting with Furkan at that 4 spot to stretch the floor. You've seen a little bit of that already, not a lot, but a little bit. I think that's interesting because he can shoot the ball usually very well, not very well last game, but he's streaky at times. So yeah, I would probably see him more as a center as well. If he can show the team that he can have an expanded role, maybe eventually he can turn into that, but I don't think it's happening this year.
Right.
All right, 1 second. So what do you –
Wait, I got some stats here.
Okay, go ahead.
Really, really interesting. Like we're having people say, like, what is the offense look like with Embiid out, all that kind of stuff. Dunder Dude says Ben is a beast for some reason when he plays without Joel Embiid. Last season, Ben Simmons played in 16 games without Joel Embiid. He put up 20 points, 8 boards, 7 assists, 2.4 steals per game. There it is. So that is a pretty impressive stat line. He makes 20 points a game without Joel.
I'm telling you, triple-double alert. I'm telling you, I have a strong feeling it's going to happen this game, especially with all that shooting he has around him. He's going to have so much more spacing without Joel on the court with him. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. And we've said it the past few years that, or at least I've said it the past few years, that this team is completely different if you have Ben Simmons on the court or Joel on the court by themselves. It's a completely different team, completely different offense, and that's what makes this team so versatile. Heck, that's why Doc Rivers wanted to come here. When you can have a team that has multiple options on what you're going to do on the offensive end, it can make the team so much more well-rounded and so hard to defend. And
Eagles
so
are terrible, man. Oh God.
Yeah, I honestly turned the game off. I couldn't watch it. It was hard to watch for me.
This is terrible.
What is this? What we got here? What we got here? I would like to see a lineup of Tyrese, Shake, and Ben to see if a 3-guard play works like OKC did last year. A CP3, Dennis Schroeder, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That would be interesting. I would love to see that. Yes. I think offensively that would obviously be amazing to watch. And real quick, let's turn it over to Rob Lange, the voice of the people. You can follow him at Philly_Madness on Twitter. How do you feel about Tony Bradley maybe getting some PT this game?
Bradley's boys.
TB11 time tonight, baby. He'll probably be a minus 30 and they'll lose by 20, and I'll have to back off my love for Tony Bradley. But you know what? I'd rather love Tony Bradley than Doug Peterson or Howie Roseman today. So how's that sound?
Ooh, he's going at him. He's going at him already.
Oh, it was one of those days, man. It's pretty funny to watch it all crumble in Dallas of all places. But no, I'm excited for an opportunity to see what this team could do without Joel Embiid handling the brunt of everything, right? We've seen Joel Embiid be the dominant force, but we know that he's going to sit out games. And it's a night like tonight where you hope Seth Curry builds off his strong showing the other night, that Ben takes another step up. Like Dwight Howard's going to be good in the minutes that he's in, but you can't play Dwight Howard 30 minutes a game, 35 minutes a game. So a guy like Tony Bradley's going to have to play well. I mean, it's not the toughest, it's not the most daunting task in the world with Andre Drummond, but the bigs are going to have to play well. But this is a game where you got to see these guards hit shots. Danny Green's got it. He hit a couple the other night. Tobias has to play better.
He did play better.
Yeah,
I mean, Wednesday.
Even more tonight.
Listen, I only saw bits and pieces of the second half because we were leaving a family member's house last night. But Tobias was definitely better. There are a couple times where you want to see these decisions come quicker. But I'm excited. Listen, last night was the night where the Sixers road woes, right? And we want to see how they handle the road on their new map. Well, here's the without Embiid in the lineup woes. Can they still sustain offense even without Joel Embiid in the game? We're going to find that out tonight. I know it's Cleveland, but you get a good little taste of it tonight.
And that's my biggest question right now is if the going gets tough and the game's close, especially at the end of the game, what is the offense that we turn to? Who has the ball? Who's the scoring option? Is it Shake Milton? Is it Ben Simmons? That's my question. I personally think it's going to be Shake Milton. What do you guys think?
Like I said, don't be surprised if Dwight Howard puts up like 15 and 20 tonight. So it's not that big of a drop off. But you got to go with Shake. You got to go with Shake. You're going to see that guy with the ball in his hands. I want to see him more involved on offense. Last night he seemed to be going through the motions a little bit. But get the ball in his hands in the pick and roll. That is where he thrives. I think it's got to be Shake. What about you, Rob?
I'm going to go Tyrese Maxey. I want to see the young guy. Listen, I'd like to see him when they both come in. I like to see him handling the ball more. I like Shake as the off guard. I'm not crazy about Shake, the point guard. Now, that doesn't mean he can't get in pick and rolls once you get into the half court. That's all good and well. But there were times yesterday, and I mean, it never really got scary. The Sixers were up pretty good for the whole second half. But Shake sometimes worries me when he's just dribbling the ball up the court. I think that's where his issues are. I love Shake as the off guard, and I'd like to see give a little more confidence to the kid today, Tyrese. Let's see what he can do today.
Mark thinks it's going to be Milton and Curry going down the stretch. I could see that being that Seth was given a lot of freedom in the first game against the Wizards going down the stretch to hit a few clutch little floaters in there, had a few assists in the last couple minutes. So I think that could be interesting. Something else that I wanted to touch on is somebody asked, did we do score predictions yet? So I think Dives did a little bit of score prediction. What was your prediction again, Dives?
I was 122 to 106.
Okay, how about you, Rob? What do you think?
They scored 122 without Joel Embiid.
Well, yeah, now that changes things, right? I'm going to come back with a score. I'm going to come back.
Okay, go ahead, Rob. Let him think a little bit.
I'll let him hit the century mark. I'll give him about a 105 to 98 win. I think this game's ugly today. I don't think they rout him by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's an ugly game on a back-to-back.
Something I kind of agree with you. I think it's going to be like that one. I'm going to give him 110. I honestly think there's a good chance that Ben and Tobias are going to go off today. They don't have anybody remotely at the forward or guard position that can guard Ben, Tobias, even Shake and Tyrese. I don't think there's – I think the offense is going to look a lot better than we think, even with Joel being out today. I think there's going to be a lot of flow going on, a lot of driving to the basket, passing out. I think it's going to be interesting. How about you, Dives? Do you have that new score prediction yet?
Let's go. I still say that the Sixers get the W. I will say Sixers 108, Cleveland 99. I think we're going to hold them under 100 points again. And again, the Sixers are going to be led by defense, and I've been very impressed with the starting lineup. Not just on defense, too. Like Steph Curry's offensive rating was 199 yesterday. So let's see that build. Like my man Coyle said, let's get Danny Green some threes. We're going to see the pace go up significantly today. I want to see some Seth Curry transition threes, some pull-up threes in transition, a lot of fast break points tonight. I'm still confident that this is still a pretty easy Sixers W.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is wondering really like how the offense is going to look in general. The offense has looked like it's been growing the past 2 games, but I'm wondering, is it going to grow more? How's it going to look with Joel being out of the lineup, even without the crunch time, talking about that kind of stuff? What's it going to look like in general as the game goes on? Is Matisse going to get some more? Is Matisse going to get some more run? Is he going to get some more ball handling responsibilities today? Are they going to try him out with that? It seemed like last game, actually, speaking of Matisse, it seemed like last game they did have him dribbling the ball a little bit more and trying to run the I don't even know what you call that, but like Doc Rivers loves running those ball handoffs with the guards. And it seems like that he was trying to run that a lot with Matisse last night, trying to get him a feel for that. So what do you guys think about Matisse Thybulle, the Tyrese Maxey? I know Dives likes Tyrese Maxey a little more than Thybulle right now. How about you, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I just think, with Matisse, yeah, on defense he's a good player, but you're really concerned about his offensive liability. And obviously, Doc did not see enough to have him as a staple in the 10-man rotation to start the year. Now, tonight you might see a little more Matisse, not because he's a center, but because Joel's out of the game, so they're going to try different lineups and things of that nature. Look, I like Matisse. He's a good kid. I hope it works for him. I hope he can find his way through this. But I'm wondering if Matisse is always going to kind of be that fringe offensive player with really good defensive skills. And I know it's early to judge him. He's not even in, 3 games into his second year. And I'm not really judging. I'm just saying I'm curious if he can ever be more than that.
No, and I think that's fair. I think that's very fair. Of what he's shown us, and also in the fact, and we've touched on this in past streams, with the fact that he is from another regime. He was drafted by a different organization completely. Besides the fact that the GM is still there, sitting there under Daryl Morey now. What's up, Dylan? How you doing?
Dylan, how are you, man?
I'm dandy.
You're dandy? How did you enjoy that Eagles game?
He changed so fast.
I'm fine. It's crazy that Jesus Christ himself threw an interception in the end zone and
If you don't know already, this is Dylan Davis, Dylan JD98. He was just on the Daily Dose earlier today. What was it, 2:00 today?
Mm-hmm.
Daily Dose. He had Dibes on there with him, and Gin, who I think Gin was in the comments. Gin, he says,
Gin sent me this. Jake Mount said, "Where's Dylan and Matt?" So I don't know if Jake wanted something, so I had to come on and ask Jake what he wants.
Jake, what do you want? What do you want? We're wondering.
All right, so I'm team Tyrese Maxey over Matisse Thybulle. As much you were talking about, I know it's a super small sample size. I know it's only 2 games, but the Sixers have the second best defensive efficiency in the NBA. As much as we've seen the offense look sluggish, especially the starting lineup, they're 13th in offensive efficiency. So the roster, the way the roster is constructed with the versatility on defense, that's got to be Tyrese. Tyrese needs those minutes. The way he goes downhill, the way he attacks, the way he is relentless at getting to the rim, that's an element that Matisse Thybulle will never, ever be able to give you. And that's why he is such a much better fit in Doc Rivers' system. Tyrese needs more time.
So, Dylan, we were talking about the Tyrese and Matisse Thybulle and what you think about them, who you think should be getting more PT, who you have more confidence in. We already asked Rob and Dives. What do you think?
Well, I mean, the big thing coming into the season was, did Matisse step up his 3-point percentage? And that doesn't look to be the case so far. He looks not lost, but he hasn't been his, shut down self on defense. So if Matisse isn't locking up someone, he really has no room on the court right now. So to move Tyrese Maxey simply for his offensive ability and his ability to run this offense, I mean, Matisse has oddly found his way out of this rotation after people considered him untouchable in James Harden trade and Zach LaVine trade rumors.
Yeah. Definitely. I think a lot of people consider him untouchable. We're considering him untouchable more for the personality rather than the player and how he was in the offense last year. Brett Brown runs a completely different offense than Doc Rivers does now. Doc Rivers definitely has a lot more movement in his guard play and forward play than Brett Brown did. Matisse was able to just kind of sit in the corner and be stable on offense rather than how they had them, like I was saying, doing a lot of ball handoffs. Interesting thing that I just realized, Kevin Love is in the lineup today. He was questionable for the game. He will be on the court today for the game. So what do you think does that make any sort of difference in today's game? What do you guys think? How about you, Rob?
Unless Kevin Love can actually move on the basketball court, I don't think it makes much of a difference to me. I mean, I know he adds an element of a shot, but man, he just seems to get slower and slower every year. That body has taken a beating over his career at this point. Mm-hmm. I can't sit here and tell you I'm not going to score 30 tonight because I say this, but Kevin Love does not scare me in any way, shape, or form.
Boys, I'm going to jump back on at halftime because I don't want to ruin the game for Rob and Dives. I'm probably 8 years ahead of them on this stream. So
yeah, I'm already watching the game right now.
Yeah, me too.
As well. Yeah.
Like you can't wait to play on my screen.
Yeah. So, like, what do you guys think? Who do you guys think is going to be guarding Ben Simmons? Do you think it's going to be Larry Nance? Because Larry Nance is in the starting lineup as well.
Likely.
Yeah.
Likely?
Yep.
And it's looking like it. I won't spoil it too much, but yeah, it's looking like Larry Nance is going to be sitting back on the paint while Ben Simmons is standing at the three-point line.
Did Cleveland change their court this year?
Yes, they did. Oh. Yeah, you wouldn't know that much because Cleveland is not on the radar of the national sports media. But yeah, Cleveland did change their jerseys. They have City Edition jerseys and the court as well, just like the Sixers did.
Who's happier than Andre Drummond that Joel Embiid's not playing today? Joel Embiid owns that young man.
I know, right?
He really does. Oh man, Thibault is a one-tool. Thibault is a one-tool player. Need to be multi-tool for Doc Rivers. Right. I can agree with that. I think it's possible that he can become a multi-tool player. I just think it's not him right now. And where this team is, which is obviously win now mode, that's I think why we think he's just doesn't match up with what the team is right now. And he might not have the time right now to develop into what he needs with guards like Tyrese Maxey and Shake Milton ahead of him.
I hope our live stream gets bombarded by Cleveland Browns fans. Nothing would make me happier. Remember that, Rob?
I meant to start off today's episode by asking Cleveland Browns what's up with the Nets today, because as embarrassed as I am to be an Eagles fan today, that right there is – I mean, granted, they literally had no receivers playing, but they still lost to the Jets, which is awesome for me.
Do you think it's still raining in Cleveland, Rob?
Yes. Oh, it's raining even harder now. The monsoon has started as they went from win against the Jets and you're in the playoffs to now they have to win and get help next week, or their playoff run or their playoff route continues, which is fantastic.
It's looking like they have the Sixers are putting Ben Simmons on Colin Sexton, at least in the beginning of the game. So I'm interested to see how that move goes on.
Yeah.
I've already seen a good amount of open looks from three with Ben driving in. So I mean, hoping for a good look.
And I'll tell you, I know he's only made one of the two that I've seen him shoot, but Tobias looks more assertive. He looks more quick to the decision-making process here early. And really, that's what I want to see out of the guy, because when he's that kind of guy, he's going to be what you need from him.
Mm-hmm. And I agree. I think that's going to make a big difference on this team as well. He needs to be that piece that we can go to on an offense at times.
Ew, come on, guys.
See, that's the Ben Simmons that frustrates me. He literally tried to hand it off to Tobias Harris as he's running into him. Not the time to hand the ball off. How the hell did that just happen?
It's so funny to me that it's terrible that you guys are so far back, because I'm like watching something else and I'm like, what are they talking about?
That pass from Ben Simmons was horrible.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Toby has all 5 points for the Sixers so far. So
on our screens, Dives. We don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
well said.
Ben Simmons has 2 points now.
Okay.
But well, who do you guys think is going to be the leading scorer in this game? Rob, what about you?
I would love for it to be Ben, but it won't be because he's going to be looking the dish. I'll go with Seth. I think Seth has a day.
Yeah.
It could be Jake, but I'm gonna stick with my guy Seth.
That'd be nice. You hope it's Toby.
Yeah.
You hope it's Toby. That would be perfect.
Yeah, there's so many hopes in this game. Like, I hope TB11 has a triple-double. But that's just besides the point. That's just my personal one.
Oh my God. I thought Ben was just gonna pull up a mid-range jump shot. He almost did it. He thought about it.
That would have been nice.
I actually already called Ben Simmons triple-double. I already called that one.
That could very well happen tonight.
As soon as I saw Joel was out, I'm like, there's a very strong possibility. One thing I'm noticing so far is the Cavs are getting a lot of like open, good teardropper looks for them. So I'm hoping that subsides as the game goes on, but they're doing a really good job with those floaters right now. Oh, they're trying to sauce up Danny Green going down in the that's a bad matchup. Andre Drummond just got down in the post on Tobias Harris and just took him right under the net.
Yeah, well, that's probably good. They probably don't want Andre Drummond to end up on Tobias Harris too much.
Yep.
There we go. First bucket for Dwight Howard, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, how funny is it how he's become a fan favorite in 2 games?
Because it's hilarious.
Like, I watch him and just have this big smile on my face.
Mm-hmm.
So someone else gets it. Like I tweeted that today. Like that dude is now my man crush. He's my Norvel Pell of 2020, 2021. Like that guy is just a force, and it's just so fun to watch.
Howard, I feel like Howard is one of those guys that just has that energy that Philly likes. He kind of reminds me of that TJ McConnell energy, where it's just that like never quit, like always hyped up energy.
And he has talent, which makes him better than TJ McConnell.
Oh, exactly. And trust me, I'm not sitting here saying that a guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame is TJ McConnell. What I'm trying to say is that kind of energy is what Philly likes, and plus he's that backup center that we've needed for the past 3 years.
Yeah, Seth Curry, baby, let's go.
My God.
Big three.
And I kind of sent this to our Discord.
Dude, Toby, come on, man.
It was so funny to me how literally, if you went on Twitter after the game 1 Wednesday night, there was like multiple tweets going, I just don't think Seth can make it in a starting lineup. I don't know if Seth can. And I'm sitting there going, are you kidding me right now? Like, one game with, by the way, he's playing Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. So it's not like the easiest defensive matchups for a defensive limited player.
By the way, real quick, where is that? Muhammad, it's 541 for me. So Muhammad, check 541. What'd you say?
We have numbers. Do we have numbers, Chris?
Yeah, we have numbers, man.
Oh, man, I don't see any numbers on my screen.
Honestly, I don't know.
NBC Sports Philadelphia. Go watch it on there. There we go.
That was an ugly turnover by Tobias Harris. That was
Yeah. There's also, if you want to see another ugly turnover, look at Ben Simmons play next time.
Oh God.
As I was literally going to sit here and say, man, this Cleveland team stinks.
I will say something you can give to the Cavs is that they do have chemistry. They have guys that have played with each other for the past 2 years.
Oh, I have guys, but I've just seen them miss 4 layups in a row.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my God, Ben.
All right, so we've already got 4 turnovers, I think, on this team. On this team, the starters had 5 turnovers last night, so not exactly what you want to see from the Sixers so far to start.
Has Mark Wenger says, has Tobias guarded anyone this year? How do you guys feel about that one?
The hatred for Tobias in this town. I mean, you know what the problem is, and I've said this so many times when it comes to Tobias. People can't get out of their heads the contract. And I understand that it was overpaying for Tobias Harris. But just understand this. He was getting that contract somewhere. Someone was paying him max because of the nature of the business of the NBA. He was getting that contract. It happened to be the Sixers. And at the time, don't be revisionist historians. at the time, we were all like, hey, you know what? I like this guy. He brought something new to the table. Yeah, let's let him go, man. This is a good pickup. I'm glad he's here. Now, because all you want to do is focus on the money, once again, you're missing the little things that he can do on a basketball court.
And again, the Sixers are this number 2 defensive efficiency team in the NBA. Tobias Harris had a 99 defensive rating last night versus the Knicks. Like, let's not get crazy here, guys. Let's not get crazy.
Oh my God! I am telling you. The more I have, I can't wait to see this. Dylan just put. Mike Clay just put this out here. The Eagles are going to have quite the decision on their hands if they're in position to draft a top QB prospect in April. Assuming his progression continues, I'd have no issue giving Hurts a season as the guy, but you also don't pass up a great. Listen, I know it's a Sixers thing. If the Eagles draft another quarterback, Dives, I might revoke my fanhood. I may not be a fan of that team anymore. I have to just put that.
I've actually heard a lot of people say if they trade Carson Wentz that they're going to buy jerseys of whatever team he's on. They're going to buy his jersey of whatever team he's on, and they're not cheering for Philly anymore.
Well, now see, I'll cheer for Philly, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be petty. I'm going to be petty as shit. And I will.
You're already petty, Rob. Come on.
No, I'm angry now. I will be petty when I buy. Listen, I'm sitting here at my Dawkins wall, and on the other end is his Broncos jersey. And I bought that because I said, screw this team for doing that. Now, I'm not comparing Carson Wentz, but I will be petty as shit if they trade Carson this offseason. I'm telling you right now.
I get that. I mean, I have a Malcolm Jenkins jersey that I got the year before they won the Super Bowl, and he's gone now.
That jersey right there, that's Dawkins Clemson jersey. Great story on that one. It took me years to find my size in that jersey. I couldn't find it anywhere. I finally found it, reasonable price. I was pumped. Month after I got the jersey, he went to Denver. It's like, you son of a bitch.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's just awful.
All right, back to the Sixers now. I don't want to be angry anymore.
I get it. Like what? So okay. So more than anything, obviously the start of this game has been a little sloppy when it comes to turnovers and just offense in general. What do you think they're going to try to? What do you think Doc is going to try to do to get this team going? Do you think it's going to be that the guards doing the ball handoffs like they have been? What do you think?
I would like to see Shake Milton. Let's see Shake Milton come into this game. Let's see Tyrese Maxey come into this game and just start attacking the paint. Where are we at with fast break points? The Sixers have 4 fast break points so far. They're not going to make their living. They're not making their living in the paint so far. Cleveland has 10 points in the paint. We haven't really seen that much of Dwight Howard rolling to the basket. So it's we'll see.
So it seems like the ball is going through Tobias a lot on the offensive end right now, which is interesting.
I think this is Doc trying to get him involved. I really do. I think Doc is really trying to make Tobias understand that they're going to need him. Oh, I just want to say, Mark, you understand that Randall's like a good 30 pounds bigger than Tobias Harris. Yeah, he's probably going to beat him like a drum a little bit in the post. I mean, that's a pretty big size difference there. Randall's just, I don't know, a teensy bit stronger than him. I get what you're saying, but I don't think Tobias Harris was as bad as people want to make him out last night. Oh, Ben!
Ooh, there's a good sign right there. Ben just made his first free throw. That's a good sign. No, I'm being so serious when I say that. When Ben is on making his free throws, he is usually not as scared to get some contact near the rim, and that's something I've noticed in the past few years. That if he's hitting, he's not as scared to start pulling some things going.
Yeah, Joel has back tightness. Was watching the Birds. Oh, I thought you were saying Joel was watching the Birds. Now he's back tightness.
I would. We all have an injury after watching that game.
Rob, where were you at, though? Be honest. Were you happy? Were you sad that they lost? Where are you at?
It was weird. When they went up 14-3, I actually texted my cousin, and I said, are you enjoying them playing well? I said, sickness, because I can't figure out how I feel. Like that, like I wasn't mad. I was cheering for him. I was putting but as the game started to get out of hand, and as I'm like, look, I'm like, wow.
There it is.
I'm like, wow, they scored 3 points since the first 2 drives, and then that just continued. And then Dallas just started I'm going, you know what? I'm not glad, but what it does is it airs out the glaring hole with that team. And it's the coaching and the management for the roster that they put together. I mean,
just like to mention the lineup the Sixers have out right now is Tony Bradley, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Seth Curry, and Shake Milton.
And Tony Bradley made a play, I think.
Did you see that defense? It was pretty
cool. That's how they teach you down in Tar Heel Nation, baby.
Oh, here we go.
Wait a minute. And now I'm going to get a Toby 3? Oh. He's +3, baby.
Boom.
TB11 +3.
We just got an offensive foul by Ben Simmons.
Oh, Tony Bradley with the D. Get off my boy. Give me my jersey. That'll be an offense.
Ooh, Tony Bradley. Damn, he just blocked, like, I don't know who that was, but he just blocked the shit out of them. But then I will say Chetty Osman just got an open 3 then. That was a pretty nice block, I'm not gonna lie.
Can't wait. Oh, Tony, you're a gem.
Yeah, that was nice. Tony Bradley is bringing the defensive presence tonight in just a few minutes here.
That's basically.
Chris Coyle says TB11.
Man, the TB11 fan club is in the building.
And we got Stephen Green saying Ben hitting.
Yep. 100% a TB11 fan club.
Right here.
We got Ben hitting free throws is a scary sight as well. I agree. I think Ben hitting free throws is a dangerous Ben Simmons right there. And we talked about that a lot, talking about how if Ben Simmons can get more consistent from the free throw line and even getting more free throws, what did he average? About 5 or 6 free throws per game last year?
Yeah, 5.
And like we're saying that if he can even average at least 8, that just completely turns this team into something else, in my opinion. That gets him to probably like 18 to 20 points per game right there. Mm-hmm. Completely different team.
Sixers have 4 blocks already. 2 by Ben and 2 by Bradley.
2 by TB11.
Ooh.
Is this the Tony Bradley game?
This is turning into the Tony Bradley live watch party.
Instead of so I never did the Christmas wish list. Instead, I'm going to turn it into my New Year's resolution for our sports teams for Voice of the People, but it might have to just be the Tony Bradley show. I might just have to do a show about Tony Bradley. I don't know.
Jeez.
We'll have to see how it goes.
Depending on how this game goes, I'm wondering if it's going to be if Vincent Poirier is going to get some time during this game as well, just because they're still trying to figure out that backup center position, that third center position, in my opinion.
I don't think there's anything to figure out, Justin.
No, you don't? No? Nothing?
No, I'm just kidding.
But that's something I'm curious of. I'm curious to see if both of them get some minutes today or if it's just Tony Bradley and Dwight Howard. I would not be surprised if they spread out those minutes between all 3 of them.
The Sixers defense is really coming out strong today. They're holding Cleveland 8 to 25 from the field so far, just 32% field goal percentage at 2 for 6 from 3. You love to see it. You'd love to see it.
Yeah. You're going to see Maxey right where you see him every game, Dunder.
There we go. Sorry.
No, we're
all clicking on it. We're all clicking on it. There you go.
I think you're going to see him right when you normally see him. I don't think anything's going to change there. And I think you'll probably see him a few more minutes than what you've seen him, just because of the layout of the team today. But look, so far, and I know it's only 2 games, but the moment hasn't been too big for Maxey. He looks poised out there on the floor, looks poised handling the basketball, gets to the basket. So it's all good stuff to see. So I think you'll see him early. I think you'll see him often.
So I think Mark agrees with you. He says early as well. I'm pretty sure everyone's feeling this right now, but I am so excited to see what Tyrese Maxey turns into. Like that is one of like the bright spots of this team's future, and he really excites me, especially with just how explosive he is. Oh, it's looking like they're running a few actions for Seth Curry right now, but they're not going too well.
Okay, it's all right.
It's still a pretty sloppy offense.
Well, and I think it's to be expected. First time without Joel, but hopefully it gets cleaned up as this game goes along.
So Stephen Green is saying something interesting here to me. He says Maxey could easily average 17 on a bad team. I actually think Maxey could average more than that on a bad team. Honestly, like with the way he drives to the rim, with the way he can create free throw attempts for himself, it seems like I could see him being a 20-point scorer at some point. I really could.
Yeah, I mean, on a bad team, I think Maxey could light up a scoreboard because I think
I agree.
You kind of have the offense running through him, at the point. But that's the nice thing about the situation he fell into here is he doesn't have to be that guy. He can be that bench player and just, look, I think Maxey's going to turn heads this year. I really do, but not in the sense of a 17 to 20-point scorer.
We have a nice block from Tobias Harris going into a fast break. Lob City, baby. Shake Milton to Ben Simmons on the fast break.
Oh my God!
You love to see it.
I'm excited.
I just saw another Toby bucket. He is hot tonight.
Yeah.
Going back to Tyrese though, I'm not ready to jump all in on Tyrese Maxey being like a 20+ points per game scorer.
Oh no, and I'm not saying that necessarily. I'm saying that if it were there was a comment saying if he was on a bad team, he could easily average 17 points.
I mean, what I've been most impressed with regarding Tyrese Maxey is how he is at getting others involved. In the pick and roll, I've been really impressed with his ability to pass and just look calm. But he's a relentless attacker in the paint, but he does so efficiently, which is so impressive as a 20-year-old that you don't normally see. I do think Tyrese Maxey is really, really good, but I still need to see more.
You like this comment from Mark Wenger? It says, as Painted Line says, let's pump the brakes on Maxey. It's early.
Yes.
I mean, but I don't know where any of us should pump the brakes. All I'm saying is that I think the kid is going to be a good player, and he's in a great situation to flourish.
He really is.
That's all I'm saying about him. I don't think he's going to just light up everybody. Oh, Furkan, I hate you.
He didn't step out of bounds, though.
No, he didn't step out of bounds. He just stepped in the right.
That's a plus.
You got to take the small.
Do you guys think that Shake ends up personally? I think that Shake is going to end up staying at that 6-man role for most of this year, and then just coming in at the end of games. Do you think there's a chance that he moves into that? Do you think there's a chance he moves into that starting shooting guard role, and then having Maxey become that 6-man? What do you guys think? Rob, how about you go first?
I said this. I forget. I don't know what show we were on the other night when I said I really like Shake off the bench. It's not a knock on him. I just like him off the bench. I think he comes in and plays a few minutes there with Ben Simmons before Ben goes to the bench. Whereas if Maxey's your 6th man, I think it messes your rotations up a little bit. I think I don't think they want to play Maxey with Ben too much at this point from a shooting stance. So I would rather Shake stay coming off the bench, doing it the way that they're doing it. Now, look, as the season goes on, something might change, but right now I would keep Shake as the potential 6th man of the year, if you ask me.
No, and I agree. And I actually really think I think he is a easy candidate for the 6th man of the year this year if he keeps playing the way he has been the first 2 games. Dibs, what are you thinking about that?
Yeah, I already said it. I think Shake should stay as a 6th man. You've seen Doc Rivers' success with the 6th man. Having a team with clear roles that really boils down to me wanting to see Seth Curry, Danny Green with Ben and Joel, and just continuing to build chemistry. I don't want to change anything. It's way too early to change things. That being said, there's definitely a projection of it doesn't even matter who starts, to be honest. It matters who finishes. And we've already seen Shake Milton being really the facilitator with 5 minutes remaining. And like I said in another previous show, I think I said on Daily Dose today, but Shake Milton's defense has been one of the most pleasant surprises so far this season. If Shake Milton can be that guy that plays, not necessarily negative, maybe a plus defender on defense, then we're talking a completely different game when that playoff starts in the half-court offense. Maybe Seth Curry can't keep up with some of the guards that he's facing, depending on the matchup, and you want to put Shake in there. So right now, I stick with Shake. I love Doc Rivers kind of playing around with Maxey and Shake on and off ball. Let them figure it out. Like I said with the trades, there's no reason to rush into anything. Let it just play out. Let this team build chemistry. Let them gel. Give it time.
How do you feel about this comment from our own Dylan Davis? Your Furkan Korkmaz quarter update, 0 for 3.
He only speaks the truth, guys. He only speaks the truth.
That's fantastic.
Listen, we have a very, very large Turkish audience. We got to relax with this. Come on, guys.
Here comes the troll of all trolls, Stephen Green. He's back.
I don't know. What's the latest on Terrence Ferguson? Because if this is the Korkmaz we're getting, I don't know when Ferguson's going to get playing time or what his status is, but you could easily see Tyrese Maxey playing more and then Ferguson getting minutes as well to provide defense and shooting. Because if Furkan's not going to make shots, sorry, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, you saw yesterday that when Furkan wasn't hitting, Matisse got some more play. So I'm wondering, because Furkan's kind of played that small forward role for us more than he has played that shooting guard role. I'm wondering if that is the reason Matisse has gotten more time yesterday than maybe not Thibault, than maybe Maxey did.
What Tim is saying here is my issue with Furkan is he's too hot and cold, and I don't need all the players to be all-stars on a team. I get that. But if your role is to come in and knock down shots, you have to be more consistent than inconsistent. And I just haven't seen that from him from last year to this year. And that's the frustrating thing with a guy like Furkan. I mean, I understand when he's hot, it's a beautiful thing. But I just don't see it enough.
I don't know what photos Furkan Korkmaz has on Doc Rivers, because I'm also confused with how much the offense is running through Korkmaz. That's one of those weird things that I've noticed so far. I don't know if they're trying to build up his trade value or what's happening. But like I said, the second that Tyrese Maxey starts to show that he's like a 35% shooter from three, give those minutes to Maxey, baby.
Yeah, Maxey's in right now. He's in there with Shake, Furkan, Dwight Howard, and Mike Scott.
Yeah, see, I will say, and I know that this is trying to learn the players, I hate the full I guess the white starter tonight. Mike Scott and Furkan, I don't think could be on the court at the same time. I just think there's a lot of liability out there when Mike Scott and Furkan share the floor.
Yeah, that's
I mean, I can agree with that. I mean, you also have Mike Scott on Kevin Love, and someone's injured on the Cavs, or is he just on the ground? He's just whining. He's just whining. I hate that about basketball. People will just now, mind you, I don't know for sure, but a lot of times people just they get hit and they just roll on the ground for a second and they get right up. It's turning into soccer.
Yeah.
I would love to see the Sixers bring in a young forward, like a stretch four. I
think that's what they want Paul Reed to end up turning into. And although he isn't an amazing three-point shooter, some of his college tape showed that he does have potential from there. So I think Paul Reed could develop into that. It just might be a slow development.
Yeah, I'm not expecting anything from Paul Reed.
What do you mean, man? Come on. Paul Reed's the GOAT.
I would be excited to watch him at the 76ers Fieldhouse. That's about it. Matt McKinney says Paul Reed is horrible. I like guys like that. You can find guys like that are a dime a dozen down in the G League. That's just the facts.
Yeah. So what are they looking for, an elbow here?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Hold on. They're doing a replay right now of it.
Dante.
Ray Hancock says, love, love, love Seth Curry. Absolutely. So the Cavs have really gone on a little bit of a tear these last several minutes. They're now up to 42.4% field goal percentage. Meanwhile, the Sixers have been down. So we've seen a little bit of a run here by the Cavs.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about this? Do you think this is because of Joel Embiid not being in the game and they have to get used to running an offense without him? Do you think it's just the offense has been playing poorly? What do you guys think?
Well, I think Joel is the heart and soul of the offense, and they're gonna have to figure it out on the fly. And this is just test number one because Joel Embiid is gonna miss several games this year. Let's not fool ourselves. So we're gonna have the offense looked sluggish with Joel Embiid. Now we have to figure it out without. But we'll see. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm not exactly concerned. Although we did give our grade and our expectations of the game pretty early into the pregame, and we were like, okay, we think this game is going to be pretty much a blowout, just like yesterday's game. And but that was like we said early in this stream before we knew Joel Embiid was not in the game. So, what do you guys think the what are your expectations? Do you think what are your expectations of the game? Do you think it's going to be a close game all the way through?
Yeah.
Do you think? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I do. I think this second of a road back to back, no Joel Embiid. First time this group is playing without Joel Embiid. You're playing a Cleveland team who is not very good, but these guys always are gonna give them their best effort. When they're out there, especially this early in the season. Jeez, that cut looks brutal. So yeah, I think it's close all the way through. I do believe the Sixers will pull it out, but I'm not. I'm also not going to be the typical Philadelphian who win, lose, or draw overreacts to this game.
Yeah.
You look at the Cavaliers; they scored 42 total points in the second half versus the Detroit Pistons last night. So this could be another Knicks game where it's a close game in the first half, and then the Sixers eventually just pull away with their defense in that second half.
Yeah.
What we got going in the comments right here?
I really how long these replays take.
Yeah, they do take forever. Oh, Matt Ginn says Paul Reed is horrible. Okay. What do we got here? Guys, ask us some if you have any questions in the chat, let us know. Ask any sort of question you want about the game, about the team in general.
Or Stephen Green and Dunder Dude the same guy. And he's just having a conversation with himself.
I mean, that would be hilarious.
Rob, did you see the that 4K camera during the Eagles game? How crazy was
that? I think it wasn't it an 8K camera?
I have no. It looked like I was watching Madden 2K.
Yeah, that camera was really, really cool.
That was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That was the best part of the game, as a matter of fact.
I think you're right.
That was the best part of the game. By the way, in that game against the worst rushing team in the league, you had 9 rushes on the first drive. You only had 20 rushing attempts the rest of the game. I just want to put that out there. Good job, Doug. Good job, Doug. I'm going to randomly take my shots at Doug during this live stream. I hope everyone's okay with that.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Shake Milton with the little pull up in the midi. Ooh, Larry Nance hitting shots from the outside. Come on, guys.
Yeah, they're gonna have to move on for Korkmaz in this game. In that second half, I expect Doc to make an adjustment in the second half.
Tyrese Maxey from 3, and it was not the best looking shot.
Damn. That's it though. As soon as Maxey shows confidence with his 3-point shot, it changes everything.
Yeah,
I'll say it was a corner 3. It looked like he did have confidence in the shot. More the issue was he just shot long on it.
You can't ask guys that are not, actual shooters to knock them down right away, but you just want to see them have the confidence to shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
And that, listen, I know it didn't look good, but that was a very confident shot. He stepped right into it. He went.
Did you see Korkmaz and Shake Milton completely on the wrong page in the pick and roll there?
No. So what happened there? It looked like Korkmaz was going to go for it, and it wasn't working out. Him getting around the pick. So I think Shake just went to take the ball. I think that's what they do when just something's not working.
I just don't
honestly
understand why they run Korkmaz and pick and rolls.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And who am I to question Doc Rivers? I'm just saying.
Well, it's happening again right now.
It honestly feels the fact that Shake Milton's not running the pick and roll on the second unit tells me that they're prepping him to be in the starting lineup next to Ben Simmons to work him off ball. That's my gut feeling right now.
Well, let me ask you, Dodge, because if they do that, is it Danny Green that sits down or is it Seth Curry that sits down? When you talk about
Danny,
I don't know enough yet.
It's easy to say it's Danny Green, but if you do that, you're now pretty small with your three guards.
It would probably be Seth. I would probably sit Seth because Shake Milton's catch and shoot numbers, they're not Seth Curry level, but they're 45%. So Shake Milton's been a phenomenal catch and shoot guy his entire career since SMU. So my guess would be Seth. And I would keep Danny Green in there for his versatility and team defense on the perimeter. That would just be my gut feeling.
Yeah, I don't think you want to start Seth and Shake. I think Seth's the better shooter. Shake might be the better defender, but their weaknesses are kind of similar in a sense. And you got to be careful how you do that.
I actually would disagree with that. I feel like their weaknesses are different, where Seth is slower and not as athletic as Shake. I think Shake's only like weakness necessarily is making sure he's good on the defensive end, and he's shown that he's been pretty good at that.
I will tell you, I like what Shake is bringing, and I don't want to turn this into me being anti-Shake, which is what people are going to do on the internet because they do. But Shake dribbling the basketball too much is a major concern in my mind.
Gotcha.
Very turnover prone. I don't mind him in a set pick and roll, but just Shake sometimes gets a little dribble happy, and I see a lot of turnovers, and that concerns me with him.
Oh, Quill, if you're watching this, my man Quill, we need you. We might have to bring the movie voices. Rob, do you know this story?
No.
So I was doing the live stream against the Pacers in the preseason game, and me and Quill were talking, and the Sixers were down 15, and we started to do more movie voices in a world where the voices are always an option. We did movie voices with all the comments for 45 minutes straight. The Sixers took the lead, and we're like, should we do the voices still? And all the comments are keep doing the voices. So we kept doing the voices.
My God.
I can't do that. I can't do that tonight. It's just too much effort.
Can't do the voices tonight. Wow.
Too much effort. Gint says would have to be Seth. Shake as sixth man. Gint says you can't not have Danny in the starting lineup. Way too many good wings in the Eastern Conference. Steven says, are you guys even watching? We're getting blown out by the Cavs. Put Bennett. Relax, dude. We'll be fine. It's all good. It's all good.
Let the troll speak. Let's let him go. He's a troll.
What's wrong one. Diverse Conscious says this would be a great time for Ferguson. Do you guys agree with that?
I need to know what his status is. Do we know where he's at? Because in terms of defense, he would be exactly what we need.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know.
Managing an ankle sprain, but I haven't heard anything about where he's at.
I have not either. No media has asked questions about him. He's kind of just been on the roster. No one's talked about him.
Yeah.
Dude, Ben is struggling right now. he keeps going into the paint and not like going into score, but going in to pass out, and he's just not finding the lanes.
Yeah, he's doing the old Ben trick where he gets into the paint, lifts his feet up, and looks to pass.
Yes. He's got to stop that. This has got to be the day that, oh, my. Oh.
There it is again, back to back.
Come on, Ben.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not looking good for the Ben Simmons. It's not looking good for him right now.
That was pretty play, pretty transition point bucket by the Cavs there. That was nice. Marky says we look sloppy AF right now.
Couldn't agree more.
Couldn't agree more. Just want everyone to remember that the Los Angeles Clippers lost by 50 today.
That is ridiculous.
Out.
Was somebody not playing? Were people not playing in that game? Like who?
I have no idea.
Was that full roster and that happened? Because that's pretty crazy.
They only had 18 points with like 3 minutes to go in the second quarter.
That's ridiculous.
The Sixers already have more turnovers in their starting lineup than they did the entire game versus the Knicks last night. So that's fun, guys. We're having a great time.
Let's remind everybody that the man that is our first option in the half court is not playing today. So this is a completely new team right now that the guys on the court have to learn with a new offense as it is. So let's be patient a little bit with this. Let's remember that is the case where it's a new offense for everybody on the court there, and your best player is not on the floor either. So
Cleveland is outscoring the Sixers 20-8 in this quarter. Holy crap. Sixers have 8 turnovers compared to the Cavs 2. The Cavs have more points in the paint than the Sixers, and the Sixers only have 6 fast break points. So it's not exactly going as we thought it would be before the game started.
Not exactly what you want. Not at all. Ben plays like this when he's dating a Kardashian, so look out for the news to break.
Oh, my God.
Jesus Christ.
Ew, don't go there again. Come on, man.
Oh, come on, Tim. Why you got to depress us like that?
Oof. Sixers shooting 3 of 12 from 3. They're just it's really sloppy on both ends.
Yeah, look at that one. Look at that one.
Missing their blankie.
Sixers looking like they're missing their blankie, Embiid. My goodness. My goodness. It's just the sloppiness that it's hard. It's basketball. It's hard to watch when there's this many turnovers. It's hard to watch, but you got to keep reminding yourself that this is not what the team is going to look like on a day-to-day basis. Ooh. Oh, come on, Seth. Got to finish that one.
This is definitely a 2019-2020 Sixers performance so far. Yeah. That's the feel.
Rob, what do you think about Steven? Steven's the one you said was a troll.
Oh, he's a troll.
If we can't cut the lead to 10, we're done.
He did this on opening night. He does it every night. That's all right. Enjoy yourself, sir. Enjoy yourself.
Oh my goodness. The Cavs are on a 26 run.
I can't believe Seth Curry missed that.
Was it blocked or?
Oh my God, guys, come on!
Man.
Ben missed an easy layup for him. Tony Bradley then came in and tried to tip the ball and missed the tip, and then
I already got a text from my cousin. Ripping my boy Tony.
Come on, guys. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, I might have to rip Tony after that one right there. God damn.
Oh, God, I don't want to see it.
He held the ball into the basket for
This has been a really tough year for me and my guys, all right? I watched Carson get benched, and now you're ripping me about Tony. I can't take it.
Are we really putting Carson and Tony in the same sentence right now? Is that what we're doing?
I'm just talking about my guys. That's all. Just talking about my guys.
More like Bradley's toddlers. Oh, man, this is brutal.
It is brutal. Ben just had a nice drive to the rim. What's worrying me is our defense just is looking awful. And mind you,
really, what was the turning point here? Because the defense was looking terrific. Like,
yeah,
minutes ago. Oh, there's Ben. There you go, Ben.
to me, it seems like it seems like almost like on defense, people are trying to do too much, like not staying in the spots they're supposed to be in. Like they're taking the drive guy. People are going after the drive guy rather than staying back and trying to guard the paint on the miss. Like there's been a lot of easy dunks for them. It seems like.
Coyle, if you're watching, we need the voices, man. The voices.
I just put a live bet on the Sixers plus 205.
Nice.
That's money in my account, so I hope it comes to fruition.
Seems like it happens a lot. There's Tony Bradley.
Hey! 2 blocks, 2 points, baby.
Dunder says Matisse time. Interesting. You might.
What does he do for you right now, though?
That's true. We need offense. I mean, obviously we need defense, but I mean, if you have Danny Green on the floor, I think that's okay for right now.
I've been impressed with Tony Bradley's defense in the paint.
Yeah, he is extremely offensively limited.
Tony Bradley or Matisse Thybulle?
Oh, no, but Tony Bradley is very offensively limited.
Gotcha.
That's a terrible foul by Tobias.
Somebody asked us earlier in the stream, do you think Tony Bradley is going to just be running that center spot for us, or do you think he could get some power forward minutes as well?
I don't know if he's fast enough. I don't know if he has enough lateral quickness to play there.
That would make sense.
Man, I'm down 18.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, Simmons. What are you doing?
This represents how I feel. This represents it well.
Yeah.
This is everything's falling apart right now.
Yeah, this is not a good stretch. Damn it, can I buy out of that bet?
I like this comment. We are better without sports.
I think that might be right anymore, man.
Oh, man.
Points off turnovers causing a bit of an issue. 15.
Which I thought before the game started, I called it out. Like the pace would be up. We'll get more fast break points with Ben leading the offense and more fast break points. Ain't happening right now.
No. Has Cleveland won yet?
Has Cleveland won yet? As a team?
Yeah.
They are 2-0 right now, actually.
Are they?
Yep.
Wow. I'm figuring they're due to get a win.
Well, I think what's really helping him this year is that Andre Drummond. And also the fact that the guards have been a lot more consistent for them, or at least in the first few games.
They played Charlotte and they played Detroit, so not exactly tough teams. I can't handle this game. If we start getting the James Harden comments, I don't know if I can take that.
Oh man, Tobias is hitting, so that's good. But we need Ben Simmons to start making smart decisions.
God, can we get some defense?
Oh, thank you, Toby. Thank you, Toby. My goodness.
Oh, there it is.
No, it didn't take long.
Oh, Dunder, dude. Turn off stream. It's better for our mental health. Listen, I promise you, it's better to get this stuff out. It's better to talk about it for your mental health than it is to just sit there in silence by yourself watching bad basketball.
Yes.
Listen, we just got to get Ben Simmons going. I think once you get Ben Simmons going in this game, I think a game changes. I think the defense needs to pick up, honestly. As soon as this defense picks up, sooner we get back into this game. Why? Seth is trying to put him on skates. Damn. Seth just went at Chetty Osman and got a foul on him.
I'm almost feeling like I should just stop watching now and go upstairs and watch Soul on Disney Plus to see how.
Not a bad movie. Yeah, not a bad movie. They trashed the New York Knicks, which was hilarious.
I love it.
Did you guys see that?
I watched Soul. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, do you remember the comment about the New York Knicks? That was hilarious. Rob, you haven't seen it yet, right?
No.
It's not a kids movie, Rob. It's a kids movie.
Yeah, that's kind of the gist I got of it when I was watching.
Yeah.
That's why I figured like I'd watch it on a Sunday night when my kids are in bed.
Yeah.
And I know that Dives, I know you were upset. I know that the entire Twitter world is upset, but I still have to watch Wonder Woman 84. Like I still have to watch it, don't I?
It's not a terrible movie.
Okay.
I'm not going to spoil it. I didn't like it for reasons that, for comic book reasons, for creative process reasons.
Yeah.
There was some really stupid decision making in that movie, and I'm a huge Patty Jenkins fan. I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan. I could not wait to see Cheetah make her live action debut. Cheetah's huge. Cheetah's like what Joker is to Batman, Cheetah is to Wonder Woman, and I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah, because that's actually before I remembered the Sixers playing tonight, I was going to watch one of those two movies tonight, and I don't know.
I mean, it's a good-looking film. It's that's all I can say.
Oh, Mike Scott hit a 3. That's nice.
My God, with the turnovers.
Yeah, they just it's bad.
Yeah,
how many turnovers do we have right now?
Yeah, my God, Cleveland makes things so much harder than it has to be.
11 turnovers on the Sixers. 17 points off turnovers for the Cleveland Cavs.
And it's an 18-point game. I mean, there's your difference.
Yep. Oh, JaVale McGee just hit a 3.
Oh, that makes me feel good.
Oh man. It's just not looking good right now, boys.
This could be a 1/2 live stream for this guy, and then it's upstairs for Disney Plus or for one. I only have 4 days left on my HBO Max free trial, so I might have to watch the Wonder Woman one and get it out of the way.
It's long. It's a long movie.
Damn it!
And I'm telling you, don't watch it. If you're tired, I will just let you know. The first act, the first hour is really slow.
Yeah. Okay.
So just be prepared.
All right.
I fell asleep on my first viewing. No, I'm not lying.
I believe it. Oh boy.
All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom before the halftime starts.
Oh my God.
This half just needs to end.
Yeah,
it really does.
It looks like street ball right now. They're just running up and down the floor, missing shots. It's like an over 40 league.
Whew.
Don't just keep shooting threes. You can't make them. Get them out of the game. Not watch Mike Scott anymore, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if he's not hitting like Matisse, if he's not hitting threes, then what the hell are we doing?
I mean, that's what I want to see from Seth, though. I ain't mad at that shot.
Yeah.
Andy
Green with a putback.
Yeah.
Offensive board and got a bucket. They're down 16 here.
Yeah, maybe if you could get a stop here, go down. If you're only down 14 at the half.
That's nothing.
No. No, but you have 3 guys on this team, and Matisse. Well, I don't know if I put Matisse there because Matisse is more of a defensive specialist. But Mike Scott and Furkan, if you're not hitting threes, you really shouldn't be in the game. You're not doing anything.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what happens in the second half with Doc Rivers. Really excited to see what his adjustments are.
Yeah.
I like this comment. It's like I'm still watching the Eagles. Steven says this day needs to just end. Down 20 to the Cavs. Yeah, so this is not good, guys. This is not good.
No, this is not what we wanted here today. This is
not what I expected at all. I thought, given what we saw Saturday night, we saw a much more fluid offense. I thought the starting lineup looked much better, but man, they do miss Joel Embiid. Obviously they miss Joel Embiid, but they're just out of sync.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm sitting down in my basement, Dives, and I'm looking. So on either side of my TV, that's like my Super Bowl champions wall. But I want to add 2 TVs down here and have 3 TVs going. And I'm like trying to figure out how I could do it without taking things down. I'm like, all right, I could go corner mounts, but then they're really high and they're I don't know how I'm going to do this. This is my next project, I think. This is my winter project to figure out.
I got a new addition to my wall. It's pretty sick. Want me to show you?
Yes.
I'm back.
All right, Dodge is showing me his new wall addition. Oh, I like it. Yeah.
Ooh.
I like that.
I'm a fan.
The old school helmet, love it.
Isn't that sick?
Love it.
Yeah, new member of the family.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
I was telling Dives last live stream, Rob, is that I can't watch the game in my room. I still live at home. Mm-hmm. I can't watch the game in my room because I don't have cable in there. So I can't have my jerseys behind me. It sucks. My little background's not with me here.
Yeah. Well, that's what so when we moved into this house a couple years ago, all I ever wanted was my man cave basement. And this basement has worked out perfectly in the sense that there's 2 other rooms where all the kid stuff is. Although, as I sit here right now, Santa brought a jump for my daughter. So literally, if you look on the ground here, this is a deflated jump that is that is hanging on the floor of my room right now. But the way I've decorated this whole entire basement is all I ever wanted. But I literally have little to no wall space left.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dunder, dude, we need the voices over halftime or else this game may be ugly.
The game's already ugly.
I just sent Coyle a text message.
Oh, nice.
If Coyle can hop on, he can take my spot. I'm going to watch Wonder Woman or Soul.
Both are slow.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what's coming out in a few days?
What?
Cobra Kai.
I thought it was January.
January 1st. They're releasing it early for January 1st.
My New Year's Day is set. My kids are going to have to go take a nap somewhere because I'm watching Cobra Kai.
Literally one of the best shows out there, man. It is terrific.
That is super exciting. That I'm only days away from Cobra Kai.
Yeah, it was originally like the first or second week of January. Then they bumped it up. So I can't wait. I think I'm going to do a watch party of that.
Isn't the Mandalorian, the new Mandalorian coming out?
No, it's over.
Oh.
Yeah, season finale was I woke up at freaking 3:30 in the morning and did a watch party for the Mandalorian finale, man.
Crazy.
It was amazing. It was so good.
Really good. It was really, really, really good.
Oh, Steven says he loves Cobra Kai.
The only thing you love, Steven. Everything else sucks to you.
He loves you. He loves you, Rob.
I don't think he does. I think he got mad at me for calling him a troll.
Gin knows how to like stab me with a knife and turn it every single time with these comments. That Star Wars show, he knows what he's doing. We won't spoil anything. We will not spoil anything. If you haven't seen the finale of The Mandalorian, and if you're like my age, what are you doing, man? It's It is one of the best finales you'll ever see in the TV series. It was probably the best TV moment of 2020, easily.
By the way, Chris Dunn, I know who Mr. Miyagi is. I understand. I look young, and I am young, but I do know the Karate Kid movies.
I was going to say,
I watched them all.
You more than just look young. You are young, dude. I want to be young like you.
Sorry. No, I know who Mr. Miyagi is.
What is wax on, wax off?
Wax on, wax off.
Crane.
The flying crane.
If you love the Karate Kid, you will love Cobra Kai. It's essentially the same thing.
I tell you what, one of my favorite parts of Cobra Kai is the soundtrack.
Yeah. How good is it?
All the 80s rock, it's outrageous. It's outrageous.
All right, so that was like one of my main complaints about. I can't say it. All right, it's not a spoiler to say.
If you think it's possible that could be a spoiler, you can't say it.
Wonder Woman 1984 takes place in the 80s.
Yes.
You think if you ever watch Stranger Things, I'm a huge fan of Stranger Things. Cobra Kai, Karate Kid, that has the best music, right?
Yeah.
Period. And it didn't have any of the best 80s music. So I was just like, what a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
There's no more feel-good music than 80s music. It just...
I agree.
I
agree. All right. Well, gentlemen, listen. You guys have a great night. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out and try and, I don't even know, eat away my sorrows. It's like, Dylan! Dylan comes in. I'm leaving. You're coming, Dylan. What's going on?
You're leaving already?
I'm out of this crap, dude. I can't. I'm not. Listen, I watched the Eagles look like shit. I can't, hey, I hope the Sixers come back, but I can't spend my whole Sunday when I have off tomorrow watching shitty sports. So I'm going to go watch either a decent movie or a movie right now, and I'm going to eat some Cheez-Its, and I'm going to just, let it all sink into my arteries and love my life for the next couple of hours.
Rewatch Cobra Kai. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you can always watch Cobra Kai and enjoy it. Gentlemen, I will see you Tuesday, I guess, right? We'll be rolling.
Yo, baby. Hell yeah.
All right.
Rob.
See you guys.
Rob's got the right idea.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. Though.
Yo, you see.
I almost just ended your whole broadcast.
And broadcast. Jason did that a week ago.
Who?
Jason Blevins. We were doing our pregame show, and right when we were getting ready for the tip-off, he was at the stadium, and he hit end broadcast. I was like, what? I had to redo it all. We had so many views at that point.
I remember that. I was viewing it at that time. I remember I was like, what the hell just happened? And then all of a sudden I see in the Discord chat, Jason.
So let's go to Dylan for grades of the first half. How would you grade the team? I'm obviously an A+.
Outside of Furkan Korkmaz, of course. I actually got that mixed up. I was supposed to say everyone gets an F except Furkan gets an A+. But that was that was so 2019 Sixers. It's not even funny in the first half. They look sloppy. They're trying to force the offense. They have no transition defense. They're letting the amount of times I saw Tony Bradley or Dwight or whoever the center is come over and try to give help defense and leave Andre Drummond wide open for a board off the offensive glass and put back. JaVale McGee's hitting a three. It was as bad of a first half as it could be. And then I go on the ESPN app and I see the Hornets are beating the Nets late in the third quarter and the Bucks are up. The Bucks are down 16 to the Knicks at halftime. So, I mean, I guess it's just the way the NBA is going to roll today.
I mean, do you think it's all because Joel's not on the floor? Or do you think it has because I think offensively you can say that, but the fact that defensively with having Dwight Howard still in the game and everything like that, it surprises me that we're looking this poor defensively.
Yeah, defensively, definitely. Dwight got 3 quick fouls on him.
Yeah.
So
and mind you, that's been a problem for him in his career, obviously.
Yeah. But when you're the guy, like when you're the guy behind Joel Embiid and Joel's not going tonight, you kind of have to sit back and think, okay, I can't get into foul trouble in the first half. And then he goes and gets 3 in the first half. So that hurt. Tony Bradley was like 0 for 5 before the one dunk. Furkan's like 1 for 5 from the field, 0 for 5 from the field. Mike Scott's like 1 for 3, 1 for 4 from deep. They're not like this team. If I see another 3-point shooter miss an open 3, I'm going to pull my hair out. The little bit that I have, I'm going to pull out. So F all around. That being said, we're lucky it's not a 19-point deficit and it's only a 14-point deficit. So, you come out, you put together a few stops, you get a few buckets, and the whole trajectory of the game kind of changes. So we shall see. Doc just needs to rip into them at half and say, yo, how are you guys doing, man? Like trying to force so many possessions quickly offensively was awful. Turnover after turnover.
That's the main story of the game here is turnovers. You look at how many they have, and you look at the points off the turnovers. 17 points. The Sixers have 17 points off turnovers, which is wait, is that am I reading that right?
The Cavs only have like 4 turnovers.
All right, I read that completely wrong. But I think the shock that what I was wanting to see was I thought the pace would be much better with no Joel and Ben Simmons facilitating, and we haven't really seen that. So Ben has been a terror with Joel off the court, and Ben is not working. You look at the game versus the Knicks last night. The starters had 5 turnovers total in the game. So far already, they have 9 turnovers in the first half. That just shows you how out of sync and out of rhythm this Sixers starting lineup is with no Joel Embiid.
And mind you, they started to look a little better when it came to like turning the ball over. I think like as it went on a little bit, but
oh God, here we go.
Don't pull it. Don't do it.
I'm not. I can't handle this.
This has been one of the hardest days so far in a long time. I'm with Justin. Not like the offense was so sloppy. I did not expect 64 points to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, no.
With injuries and Kevin Love going out within the first couple minutes. Joel Embiid or no Joel Embiid, there's no way the Cleveland Cavaliers should be having their way. And again, it comes with what we saw in the first half against the Knicks, and that's cleaning up the glass and the second chance points to Cavs. That's one of the things I said on Daily Dose to you, Dives, was you have to keep Andre Drummond and these guys off the glass and don't give a bad team so many second chances because they will beat you that way. And that's exactly what they
what's happening. And I said that earlier before you came on earlier that it seems like the defense is almost playing too aggressive, like people aren't staying in their spots. Oh, there's Chris. What's up, Chris?
I can't watch any more of this. The voices need to come. The voices need to show up, and they need to do some work.
Does Dylan know about the voices?
Yeah, I think I told him.
I've heard Dives do them. I don't know what you guys did one night, but
we've been getting requests for the voices when the Sixers are losing versus the preseason game against the Pacers. Coyle and I did movie voices for like a good 45 minutes, and the Sixers came back and got the W against the Pacers. And that we've been getting requests in the comments section to do the voices. So here we are.
James Harden would have given you 20 by halftime. You guys are saying Ben is the motor. Harden is needed. I swear to God, Nadir is a Cowboys fan because just like a Cowboys fan, he's quiet when everything's going right, and he comes crawling out of the hole when it doesn't look so good for a half.
Hell yeah.
I think, at least Dunder Dude is on the right track. Harden, what we can do without, give it time.
Thank you.
Hey, let me ask you something. See, you're either trolling or you really don't watch the game when you're on this because Simmons can't even make a free throw, my guy. I don't have the numbers. What did Ben miss? Did he miss 2? What did he shoot from the line?
5 of 7.
He's 5 of 7 in the first half.
And last night he went 5 of 8.
Yeah. So you clearly don't watch the game. That's one person. That's what I'm starting to do. Every dumb-ass comment going forward on these shows and on my shows, I'm taking your card away. Your basketball card, AOS, is revoked now. You can no longer talk Sixers.
I would say I don't think age separates whether or not you're a troll. I'm just going to be honest with you, Nadir. I'm sorry. Also, I do think this comment's interesting. What's up?
Get starting.
Also,
I'm gonna go crazy.
I troll all day. I'm older and I troll all day.
Coyle, are you guys streaming the game?
You guys stream? I literally haven't even posted it yet. I'm about to post it in a stream that I'm doing right now. I'm gonna log in, post the chat. Like that. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you troll, you troll. And I love trolling. I'll troll on FurCon all day.
So Chris Dunn said this earlier. We have 0 flow, 4 shots, and bad D. Second string is not making the difference this game. No Joe equals no
MVP, I guess.
Okay, that makes sense. No Joe equals no MVP. I mean, I think I agree with all that's saying right there. I think the offense has had 0 flow since the first game. And I think that's kind of going to be expected with obviously the new offense, but also without having Joel on the floor. 4 shots. I think the shots started being less forced as it went on a little bit. I think the forcing was the forced passes by Ben down in the restricted area. It seemed like he was forcing passes out of there a lot, and also just missed shots. There's a lot of missed shots on the perimeter.
Well, I got to hop off in a few minutes, but Nadir, I would like to answer back with this. I don't get the FurCon worship, and that's it. Okay? Okay? That's it.
Oh,
that's it. You don't like Ben, I don't like FurCon. Agree to disagree.
Oh.
Man, I love doing this.
I can't believe this. We're only 3 games. No, we're 2.5 games into the season, and here we are.
I would say the difference is Ben is an all-star and FurCon is a guy making like $2 million to barely have a bench role.
I don't think he makes that much money.
No? He doesn't make $2 million?
Here's the thing.
I think it's 1
No
point.
one. Come on, man. No, I'm not. No shit. Ben Simmons is not James Harden. James Harden is one of the most prolific scorers to ever lace him up. Okay, he's top 2 in the NBA, him or KD right now. But what I'm saying is, like, when you look at the Nets, if you're making a move and you're sending Ben to Houston, and you look at the Nets, okay, yeah, Harden might give you 40. Who's slowing down KD? Who's slowing down KD?
No one.
No one.
Tobias Harris, man.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness. But yeah, and like I think everybody within TPL pretty much understands that James Harden is better all-around basketball player than Ben Simmons when it comes down to it.
Correct.
But the thing is, with what this team is right now, you don't and with what Ben Simmons is and has the capabilities of being, you don't want to give up a guy like that for a guy who's 32 years old, has a year or 2 left on his contract, and you genuinely don't know if he'll be here when you have a guy like Ben Simmons signed for the next 4 years. Matt McGinn. Come on, Ginn.
All right, I gotta go, guys. But I'll try to pop back on for the post game.
Later, man.
Later.
See ya.
This is like one of the things why I say like pump the brakes. The Sixers will return to the mean, but I don't know what it is about missing wide open threes or threes that have just rimmed out for the Sixers in these first 2.5 games, but it's been ridiculous. They're getting good shots. They're just not going down. They will go down. So just pump the brakes on all of this crap to be in a rush to make a move on this roster. They literally just started playing together. I feel like I'm saying
another turnover to start off the half, man.
Are you serious?
Yep.
All right, Coyle, you're muted.
Coyle, you're not talking.
You're muted, dude. Oh, Ben. That's not it, dude. That's not it, Ben.
Dwight Howard to the line.
My goodness. Ben just has to cut down on the turnovers. Yeah, this is a. I thought Ben was absolutely magnificent versus the Knicks. This is not.
I agree.
This is not.
This is just. I'm struggling to see exactly because I don't think it's like one thing that's happening that's like that we're struggling with. It seems like there's just like I think Chris Dunn said it earlier. There's just no flow.
Yeah.
There's just no flow within this offense right now.
Am I back?
You're back, dude.
All right.
All right, dude. I don't know how you want to do this, but you let me know. But it is time for
it's time for some voices.
it's time for some good luck because we haven't had it all freaking day.
I saw Howard just throw one down. So
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. That's Dibe's MVP for today.
Yeah, I went Howard, but the 3 quick fouls in that first half just there's Ben with a steal. There we go. There we go. Let's go. Come on, Dwight.
Tim
Howard.
Bruce said we need the voices.
in a world where we need the voices,
How about this
if
one?
only Ben took as much pride in his offense as he did in this defense, we would be winning this game.
There it is. I'm
In a
telling you,
world
come back.
where the Hornets beat Nets by 13, Bucks losing by 17 to the Knicks, such a weird NBA day.
Who was that guy? Shout out to that guy. Didn't he like just die or
Yeah, he passed away a long, long time ago.
was it a long time ago? Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to say like 2010.
All right, he's a legend.
Now I need to look it up because I'm like,
Good block by Danny Green, leading to a Drummond offensive rebound and a layup on the rim.
I mean, they look lost.
Honestly, the fact that Andre Drummond and another turnover.
Fuck, man.
Woo! We are losing by 19 points right now.
Yeah, he died in 2008.
Oh wow, so it's
John LaFontaine.
Ben
So-
Batman missing Robin.
Are we calling Ben the Batman of this team, or are we calling Joel Embiid the Batman of this team?
Joel Embiid is
World where Ben looks like Batman, missing Robin.
My goodness.
No, I mean it looks like a team that doesn't know what it's doing. I don't think it has anything to do with.
Does Robin have a sidekick? Does Robin have a sidekick? Because that's what Ben looks like.
My goodness. It really does.
I don't even know.
I don't even know what to talk about right now. I'm just like,
Yeah, this is brutal.
how about this? We'll talk about this. What do you think the likeliness is? Like, what do you guys think the likeliness is on us winning more than 45 games?
Very high.
Very high?
Yep.
What do you guys have a prediction on? Excuse me.
Well, I was
Sorry, go ahead,
72-0, and now I'm 72-1 after tonight.
Oh, you added one more game? You
Sorry,
said 72.
71-1. Math. How dare they? How dare they subtract games when I take it from the win column?
RJ says, if Ben and Joel are Batman, then Robin, then Tobias is the damn Joker. And
What are
then
you even doing? Diver, what are you doing?
sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
No, you read them, but you just do it in a voice.
If Ben, I can't do it. My voice is like, yeah.
No, you need to. I'm not doing it by myself.
Hold on. Dude, I did this last night.
So did I.
In a world, if Ben and Joel are Batman and Robin, then Tobias is the damn Joker.
The Joker. The Joker. The Joker. God, I'm literally
In
just
a world where Ben Simmons is Alfred's bitch.
Oh my god. Yo. Tobias is the worst player I've watched. I'll trade him for Covington.
Oh.
Justin, I don't know what
you got 2 first-round picks. You couldn't get 2 fifth-round picks for Tobias Harris.
Justin, I don't know what you just read. I just heard mumblies.
It's not in the voice.
So I'm gonna need you to go ahead and fix that.
In a world where Tobias Harris is the worst player I've watched, I'll trade him for Covington.
There you go.
There you go. Movie voices.
the movie voice. It's the only way we're coming back.
So, Coyle, this is you.
Oh, God, I can't even read that. In a world where someone doesn't know how to type, they make me read. All right. In a world, but what about? I was going to say Ali, but it's not. It's all. In a world, but what about all the other things all of the things he does? His wheel. I'm tired of hearing the excuse about Ben Simmons' game. Learn how to score the damn basketball. Anthony Hands, we're going to have a communication right now. I need you to listen, and I need you to look at me right now. I need right here, me and you. Anthony. It's not about his scoring. You need to look what he does every game inside and out. It's about his defense. It's about how he is able to attack and open up scoring. Stop worrying about his scoring. Stop. Please. Stop.
I will say, though, in his defense, this is a game where Ben needs to go off with Joel not being there.
God. What is happening?
What?
I just saw the turnover and another easy bucket.
Oh, yep. Dante Exum, man. He's a beast.
No, this has nothing to do with Ben. This is a whole lot of garbage basketball. You're seeing people taking this game off. Oh, Joel gets a sit. Well, I guess I'm going to take today off too.
I'm going to say this for Anthony Hands. In a world, a man fighting for everything he holds dear, his half-court offense is putrid.
Dylan Davis, our very own. Remember when people wanted Dwight to start last night?
Yo, that was crazy.
I don't know what you just said. What did you just say? It was mumbly.
In a world where we remember when people wanted Dwight to start last night.
There you go, Seth. Bang. There you go, Seth Curry. Oh, needed that. Stop the bleeding.
In a world where Ben Simmons is running the break, passing out when he gets to the damn elbow when there was nobody but. It pisses me off so much that Ben doesn't just drive in and just hit somebody with his shoulder and just go in and yam it on him.
Yeah, but there was no one around him on that. Like
that's what I'm saying.
He has him attacking, but it's a 2-on-1 where he has 2 defenders on him that you don't want to attack on that. Hold out for a better shot and they get 3 points on it. Like when I look at that, I think he knows exactly what he's doing with certain things. Like I have no problem with him pulling back. I have no problem with him stepping, driving in on certain plays.
There we go, baby. It's a huge 3 by Toby.
Come on, Mike.
In a world. He's a hard man. He's an easy man to like and a hard man to kill. Ben Simmons.
What do you guys think about this comment?
In a world, a positive. Positive? The Sixers get to evaluate the younger players with extended minutes. I think that's garbage. They know what they have.
I don't
think it's garbage. I don't think it's garbage because you want to see players against other players. But
Damn.
I think I'm just angry and frustrated, and I apologize, Mark. I think that's I'm just very disappointed in this showing. Also, I just watched a terrible Eagles game. So
I think we're all hurting. Here. So
a few cervezas and pain go a long way.
I like this comment. Let's go to Maxey. Let Maxey run the pick and roll. What do you got to lose right now?
I also would be interested to see how Maxey does on defending some of their smaller guards. Like, they've been giving us hell.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see how that would go. Can anyone explain Ben's apathy today? I can't.
He played last night. And was playing his ass off. I have no idea. This is a completely different Ben Simmons tonight. It seems like he's trying too hard to force it. I don't know how else other to explain it. But you look at the Cavs, they have 46 points in the paint in this game. 46 points in the paint. That's crazy, man. Compared to the Sixers 24. I know
what was the in paint points last night?
I'm telling you, there might be, if Joel's not playing and you can get Dwight Howard in foul trouble early, that might be like a little early blueprint to beating the Sixers there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're playing against a team that you thought that you were going to destroy.
Gabriel, Joel is not playing because of apparent back tightness. Now, I think most people think it's just a rest. Most people think it's just a rest day for him. It is a back-to-back.
It's a rest day. They even someone even said it last night about Joel even playing tonight. Was it Krell? Krell said something about Joel not even playing.
I mean, the team didn't give any indication that he wasn't going to be playing, but no one's surprised.
No. Well, what I am surprised about with Ben Simmons is 6 turnovers to 4 assists is absolutely ridiculous. Like that can't happen.
I agree.
I think you have a Cavs team that sees Joel out and says, "This is a winnable game. This is a game we are going to be able to win," and they're taking every single.
We got a Shake Milton turnover.
Another turnover. Just they're literally just playing a better basketball game.
Here's my question: Why do we have Mike Scott on Andre Drummond? Does anybody understand that?
Interesting. Probably just pull him out a little bit.
Maxey on Sexton would be quite the twitchy treat, is what Steven says. I can agree. I think that'd be an interesting look. I don't know what they're trying to do, honestly, right now. I can't tell what the Sixers' plan is. Even with the lineup they have on the court right now, it's just like a lot. I don't really understand it fully.
Yeah, they're out.
This is why Philadelphia teams are not allowed to play doubleheaders. We always shit the bed. literally every time a Philadelphia team plays a doubleheader.
Gabriel or Gabriel? Is this Gabriel or Gabriel?
Gabriel.
Gabriel, yeah. Do you think we should trade for James Harden? And what do you think would be the best, worst trade for us?
I'm tired of talking about trades. I'm tired of it. Stop. Stop. Please, for the love of God. I don't know. I think you're new here, but we've been talking about this since for the last month straight. Let the team gel. Let them play. Let the Sixers play. Let them figure it out. Let the offensive starters figure it out. The pick and roll. It's a new system, a new coach, new supporting cast. They're 2-0. Let them figure it out. Come on, guys.
And that's our thing right now. I feel like right now, typically in a game like this, we'd be ripping the Sixers. But the Sixers have some excuses right now just because of the fact that it's a new offense and new teammates and all kinds of that stuff.
First of all, why is freaking Furkan helping up another player? I don't care if you knock him over. Stop helping up players.
They're both from the same country.
I don't care. I don't care where you're from.
Together
You do not help up another player.
Wait, are they from the same country, actually? Is he from Turkey? Hold on.
First of all, he wasn't even touched. He wasn't even touched.
Coyle's living in the 90s. I respect that, though.
Also, you kick him in the face when he's on the ground. Like, you take your heel and you shove it right in the...
Yeah, Mark Wenger says, okay, let's fast forward to final grades. D-.
Thanks.
Mark, you're very giving. You're very giving right now. We must be grading on a curve.
Steven says, did Cleveland play last night? They actually played in double overtime. You would think it would be the exact opposite for the Sixers.
Thank you, Gabriel. We really appreciate that. Guys, by the way, that's a good reminder. If you have not, hey, don't change mine. That's a good reminder right now. If you're enjoying the stream, if you want to watch us, obviously this game is not what we want, not what we expected, but we're always down to have fun with you guys in the comment section. We're always down to have fun. If you want to see more of this, subscribe, like the video, turn on post notifications. It'll really help us out. We're here every day with Sixers content. And we're always down to have fun. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel at The Painted Lines. Go follow our Twitter account at The Painted Lines. Go follow our Instagram account at The Painted Lines. We're here for you. All kinds of Sixers content.
Tons. Tomorrow, we pump out 3 shows a day here. For example, tomorrow we have Pull the Pin podcast, which is going to do a Golf Pro 2020 in review and a 2021 preview. Then after that, we have the Daily Dose, which is going to be reviewing the Eagles and Sixers games. And then at 6 o'clock, we have Sixers Mailbag with Jason Blevins, Austin Krell, and my man Kai Carlin from USA Today, answering all your Sixers questions. So literally back-to-back-to-back content starting at 3:30 tomorrow, East Coast time. So we're literally pumping out 3 shows every day. It's crazy.
And if you like Sixers content, I strongly recommend going and watching that Mailbag with Austin, Jason, and Kai. Great basketball insight and also insight on the Sixers specifically. They are all NBA beat reporters for the Sixers, and they all do a fantastic job with that. So if you want to learn more about the Sixers, definitely go watch them.
They literally answer your questions. That is the entire premise of the show.
How did they submit it via? How?
We do this.
It's the comment section. Yep.
There's this comment section, and we do a live stream. Awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's really insightful. They know basketball so much more than I do.
What score do we have right now, Dunder Dude? We have 83-59 Cleveland. Really bad. That's what we have right now. Yeah. Really bad. What is it, 24? Ugh. 26 and counting. We just can't stop the pick and roll for some reason. Tyrese Maxey's in the game right now with Shake Milton, Korkmaz, believe Mike Scott and Tobias Harris. They have Mike Scott running center right now. We're back to Shake's Shake
about,
there you go, Shake.
remember those questions about Vincent Poirier?
Yep.
It was Tony Bradley, Ben Simmons, and now we have Mike Scott playing center.
Yep. I think it's because they need more. They want shooting out there.
I'm not mad at this lineup.
Tyrese to the basket. Nice.
There you go. I'm okay with it. I mean, this is the second lineup minus Dwight Howard.
I would say it's a little bit strange to me at times because right now they have Tobias Harris. Actually, Tobias is playing small ball center. They have Mike Scott at the 4, so Tobias is covering JaVale McGee right now. That's kind of interesting. I never thought I would see that.
Matisse has played very little. He got some minutes versus the Knicks yesterday, but it seems like Tyrese Maxey is now playing tonight because the Sixers offense is sputtering, so it makes sense to go with Maxey here.
Yeah, Tyrese is a good pace difference for this team. He definitely has one of the faster paces for us. Is LeBron James playing for the Cavs tonight? Yes, he is actually. That's why they're up by this much. LeBron James recently got traded from LA. That's why this is happening.
He's dropping a 60 bomb on us. And it's only the third quarter.
It's honestly, dude.
Thunder just says many Sixers fans are adding the word "suffer" to their dictionary.
Dude, Furkan hit a shot. What are you there for?
Surprised he didn't.
Furkan has missed way too many open shots today. It's really driving me nuts.
I'm seriously, from where he was, I'm surprised he didn't step out of bounds.
Really? You gave him that foul? Yeah, watch this. Colin Sexton gets fouled by Shake Milton right here. Tell me if you think this is a foul or not.
Yeah, Furkan's hitting the rim short. He must have tired legs.
There is no way in hell that is a foul on a shot. There's no way. There's no way.
Come on, man.
That's just terrible.
Is Colin Sexton Allen Iverson? What's happening here?
Do you see it yet?
It's just
terrible.
Look at the replay. The replay is even worse.
That was terrible.
I mean, especially after the game last night where the whistles wouldn't even blow. Like, we have game 1 where whistles are nonstop the entire game. You have last night, which they weren't calling anything. And I think the refs have been somewhat decent in this one, but
dude, Furkan, what's up with Matisse? I didn't even realize Matisse is in the game. I don't understand that pass from Furkan right there. Furkan just put it behind his back, going towards the baseline. Oh, and Mike Scott just got slapped in the face. This game is so hard to watch right now, just purely based on the fact that our expectations for the Sixers after the past 2 games have been so high. Even with Joel not playing tonight, I think we all expected this to go the Sixers' way.
I mean, if you can get this within under 15 points heading into the fourth quarter, it's gonna be tough.
Do you think that happens though?
No.
Yeah.
There's no evidence here to support that.
Once again, we've said it a few times on this stream, but there's no flow.
No.
There's no offensive rhythm going on here. There's no defense either, which is ridiculous.
As great as the second unit was in the first game, you look at last night's game, you look at tonight's game, 17 points off the bench is not good enough. We've been raving about this Sixers bench for a while now, and back-to-back performances. You can't blame them. I mean, the whole it's really truly impressive how the absence of Joel Embiid just starts this like domino effect of how it impacts everything else.
Dude, we have like the epitome of a small ball lineup out there right now with Tyrese Maxey, Shake Milton, Matisse Thybulle, Furkan Korkmaz, and Mike Scott. Ugh.
This is pitiful. Like, this is some of the worst basketball I've seen in a long time.
Dunder, dude, you are welcome to change your score prediction, by the way. You're welcome to. Well, what is your new score prediction?
No, I was right. So the ESPN box score is wrong. It says the Sixers have 31 points off turnovers. That's not the Sixers. It should be for the Cavs. So I remember doing that in our halftime show.
I remember that too, yeah.
And I just saw it on the TV. It said what their points off turnovers were for the Cavs. So that the ESPN site is wrong right now.
Wow, ESPN, get on your shit.
That's what makes sense. I was like, there's no
be more like TPO.
turnovers. They don't have any turnovers in this game. They have the Sixers have they've only forced 9 turnovers from the Cavs. There's no way they turned that into 31 points. So, all right. Glad we're on the same page.
And Dunder Dude changes his score prediction to anything with the Sixers losing. All right. I wouldn't say that's not a prediction, but
I'm feeling they should put on those Mighty Ducks jerseys. That's what I'm saying.
Change the jerseys after the third quarter.
You think it's the jerseys?
No,
what it is. I think it's shitty basketball is what it is.
Definitely, shitty basketball is I believe the correct answer with that one.
Modog says, have to wonder how much it has to do with the back-to-back away games. Cleveland
don't think that's it.
Too. Cleveland's on a back-to-back.
I mean, Cleveland's at home though, so I mean that is different. But I don't think that's an excuse here. All around they've looked terrible. It's not like they've just looked terrible in one section. They've looked all around awful.
Who are you blaming? My guy I'm going to go straight to is Ben Simmons. I expect better. 26 minutes, 6 turnovers, 4 assists. That has to be better. On a game where you don't have Joel Embiid, it's time for you to step up. I have not been impressed with Ben Simmons tonight.
And with the fact that Cleveland's has 91 points and the third quarter is not even over is ridiculous. With the fact that this team has been saying they want to live off defense.
Yeah, exactly.
Even with Joel not playing, obviously Joel is a complete game changer in the paint. It's Dwight Howard getting in foul trouble does not help this team, obviously.
Loyalty program built just for pros.
I can't understand how many shots we miss that are so open. Like, it's not even.
Well, you talk about Dwight Howard getting into foul trouble early on. He only has 7 points and 3 rebounds. And then you look at Andre Drummond, 20 points and 12 boards, plus 21 in 20 minutes. Getting Dwight Howard.
Furkan with the steal.
Oh! Furkan able to make a layup.
Getting this team out of sync, I think that was directly correlated with that. The Sixers have completely lost the interior of this basketball game. You look at points in the paint. The Cavs have 50 points in the paint compared to the Sixers. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I mean this is something we talked about before coming, but we talked about this before the game, saying like with Joel not being in the game, what is this team's offense going to look like? And it turns out it's going to look like nothing. Honestly,
I'm still super surprised at this show up. Like this is some of the worst basketball I've seen. Like not able to make bounce passes on a breakaway.
Well, you talk about offense. Their offense is pick and roll. Who is your best pick and roll guy? It is Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard has been resided to the bench for the majority of this game due to foul trouble. You take away that element of an offense. No wonder why they're out of sync. No wonder why they don't know what they're doing out there. Because that's really what it looks like. It looks like 5 chickens with their heads cut off, not knowing how or what their roles are or what to do. So I said that before. Could the blueprint be get Dwight Howard out of this game? Dwight Howard has been the spark for this team the first 2 games of the season off the bench. So it's just something to keep a note of.
I don't know. It just very upsetting with this showing.
What are your guys' top 3 Sixers of all time? Al Horford. Wait a minute. For real? I'm from Europe. It's 3 a.m. By the way, thank you for watching. That is amazing. But Al Horford, all-time Sixer? He played for 1 year. He played 1 year. This is a more respectful list. Barkley, Dr. J, and AI. Quill, who's your favorite Sixers?
Barkley. Well, AI, first of all. Barkley, Dr. J. I mean, you can go Malone. You know, you do a Moses Malone. You do
Moses, nice.
I mean, there's just some of the older players are when you go and watch, like obviously there's not like highlights that you can get from a lot of these older players, but you look at certain things and the way that they were able to change the game, like Dr. J changed the game. Like there's it's
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Joshua. What happened to Kevin Love? Kevin Love was questionable coming into the game. I believe he tweaked something in the first quarter. From what I understand, did you guys see anything on that?
Yeah, it was called a 20-point lead.
Yeah, that might be true as well.
He tweaked a 20-point lead.
Sorry, go ahead though, Chris. With what you were saying?
I'll go Iverson, Charles Barkley. Those are obviously top 2. And I'm still gonna stand by it. Ben Simmons for my 3rd.
I think obviously top 3 all time. Alec Burks, Glenn Robinson III, and Furkan Korkmaz.
Your top 3.
Okay, let's.
Top 3. Literally the greatest top 3.
I'm gonna be honest. I have not watched basketball that long, and I don't know how. Like I've seen some things about Moses Malone. Obviously, I know how good he was. I know how good Charles Barkley, Dr. J, and AI were, but I didn't watch them myself.
Yeah, correct. Like I didn't get to watch like the earlier 2, like Dr. J and Moses. But you know, you see like certain film clips and certain things. Yeah. But I grew up watching AI, and then I saw enough Barkley of just being able to see it that was just a different type of game. And you see the game now, and we were talking about this a little bit last night, but AI in this type of basketball now would be unstoppable. Like you wouldn't be able to stop Allen Iverson in this type of game. You know, we had Geiger. I'm trying to think who was the other. We had Dikembe, we had Geiger. Who was our other big man? I can't even think of his name. McCullough, yeah.
You guys see this? So
what's up? Low key underrated Sixer, and was one of my all-time favorite players to watch as a Sixer. He was a point guard. Andre Miller. Do you remember him, Coyle?
Yeah.
Dude was a maestro point guard. I've always been a point guard guy. So I've always
we kind of were trained to look at them after Iverson too, right? Like you literally just watched a lot of point guards and how they play and how they do certain things, and a lot of the way that basketball is played right now is because of how we play the game.
Mark, I'm interested to know, how old do you think I am? Tell me that first before I answer that question.
Andre Miller was fun to watch, man. Just really just a heady point guard.
Steven said, "What would you have done? What would you have done if I told you the Sixers would lose by more than the Eagles, who lost by 20?" That's true. I don't think I would have believed you, bud. I really don't.
I'd punch a baby.
I had the Eagles winning today too. I had the Eagles winning. I think I said 33-27 for the Birds.
Really?
So no, I'm telling you, I had the Eagles winning too. We always show up against the Cowboys. Like it's not a. You know who we don't show up against is Cleveland.
I like the Iguodala reference. Big fan of Iguodala. Dude was underrated.
Yeah, and both of those players didn't fit or weren't used to their what they should have been used for.
It's Tobias Harris syndrome.
Correct.
Tobias Harris and Andre Iguodala make way more money than they should, or did with the Sixers. So that's where that is. But Iguodala was awesome.
I would have been fine. I would have been fine if he would not have gotten paid.
Mark said, with what you said about not seeing AI, he thinks I'm 20 years old. Do you guys agree with that assessment? Mark, I am 20. I am 21. I'm going to be honest with you, and I've been honest with people on a few podcasts. I have only been watching basketball for probably like 4 years. I grew up wrestling and playing baseball. I never played basketball, and my dad does not like basketball, so I never watched it either until college. So that's how I got super sucked into basketball. And I know AI watched a lot of his highlights, but I can't say that I watched him when he actually played. But I will say my three favorite Sixers all time, just in what I've watched. Like I guess I can go based off highlights, but I'm not going to, just for the sake of me not wanting to do that. My favorite Sixers I've watched are, and this might be not, people might not like this, but I love watching Jimmy Butler play basketball.
Okay.
So Jimmy was one of my favorites to watch play for the Sixers. I think it's obvious that I like Joe.
Furkan. I think Furkan's hurt.
Yeah, looks like he either got hit in the nuts or it's the groin. He is holding something dear.
Coyle, you have to read this.
My favorite all-time Sixers were Jakar Sampson, Jeremy Grant, Jeremy Grant, Jeremiah. Go home, you're drunk. Jeremy Grant and Tony Roden. By the way, I've been listening but working. And where my shout-outs for bringing up the movie voices. I apologize. That was absolutely terrible.
In a world where Cork gets kicked in the ding dong, in the ding ding, excuse me.
How dare you say ding ding?
Owie.
I need to go get a drink. I'll be right back.
We had an elite defensive team, in my opinion, the most unstoppable ISO player ever in Iverson, 100%. It will be insane to imagine what Iverson would look like in the floor spacing that you see in today's NBA game. Insane. I'm not saying he would be Harden level, but man, that guy would be absolutely terrific. He would get by his man every single time. It was just in a pick and roll offense. That is just something that I always think about.
Man, this game is really hard to watch. I'm having a hard time liking basketball right now. This is the hard part.
This is the hard part about live streaming these things, man. 100%. 20 turnovers on the Sixers. They have the Cavaliers have 60 points in the paint. The Sixers have 30. I'm telling you, man, that Dwight Howard injury was so, or not injury. I'm sorry. Getting Dwight Howard in foul trouble was so major for this team, and for the Cavs. The offense has looked out of sync, but the fact is, this team spark has been Dwight Howard off the bench. And it's just been no one else has been able to provide that spark. Tyrese Maxey's stats, we've got he's played 15 minutes. He has 4 points on 2 of 6 from the floor. He is a minus 20. But don't look at those plus minus numbers. Everyone's minus. But he had a nice drive to the basket. But nothing memorable. I would say. I actually liked his game yesterday more than today because he was getting others involved.
In a positive, I'm looking at my fantasy and for football, and it looks like I'm going to be getting that W for that money, which means we're getting fitted. We're going to be joining Ty on the. Pull the pin, right? That's his the golf
podcast.
Yeah,
What's happening?
it's pull the pin.
Yeah,
Pull the pin.
Yeah,
Speaking of pull the pin, they will be having a podcast tomorrow. At what time?
3:30.
3:30. So if anybody here likes golf, go check that out tomorrow at 3:30. Great content. Go check it out.
so they're going to be doing a bunch of different things, and one of the things that they talked about was doing fittings for different clubs. So one of the guys does some fittings. So that's going straight towards the new club fitting that I'm going to be running up there to get. So
Nice.
I'm excited about that.
This is a really, really good comment. Gunner Dude says, let's admire how the Ben hate has left when there was so much room to hate about Ben Simmons. So
Yeah, because it's not.
Ben Simmons will be flying tonight.
It's not the popular thing to hate about. You want to hate about the actual awful play.
This is it. Tim says, if we're out of this team, I'd say a true stretch for that's a major area they need to address.
And I think that's something we've talked about, and we kind of thought they were going to address in free agency or in a trade. Like, for instance, if we were – Terrence Ferguson's on the floor.
Yeah, just saw that.
Yeah. And so is Dakota Mathias. So it's Tyrese Maxey, Isaiah Joe, Dakota Mathias,
Tony effing Bradley, baby.
Terrence Ferguson, and Tony Bradley.
Colin said the Cavaliers starters are still in this game.
They just came
No,
out.
they just took him out.
Oh, did
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
No, but that's something like I think if there was, and now like I said, we don't like talking about trades here, but my point is if we were to acquire a stretch four, I feel like it'd be a situation where say the James Harden deal was happening, and say on the chance that we are trading Tobias Harris for maybe James Harden, and you're throwing some other guys in there, and maybe taking PJ Tucker in there as well. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I wouldn't mind seeing PJ Tucker on the Sixers.
All I know is in a world where Furkan getting hit in the ding ding was the most exciting thing that has happened in this game, I would say eyes above 245. You are correct.
My goodness.
I love that I got to say ding ding in the movie voice.
Tyrese Maxey just played some good one-on-one defense right there.
Look at Tony Bradley running the court.
I like Tony Bradley, but he's not giving you anything else besides defense.
Nothing.
Which is fine in a role like this, but having too much Tony Bradley is like having too much freaking Korkmaz. Like, I think there's a major red flag there.
When Joel's playing, and if Dwight Howard's in foul trouble, I think Tony Bradley can get some okay minutes, but when he's getting big time minutes, he's not effective. And also, do you guys see anything out of Dakota Mathias?
No.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? He hit a 3.
I don't think he's made – oh, he did hit one?
Yeah.
I was about to say, I don't think I've seen him make a shot, like, ever.
Yeah, he hit a 3, but he just seems awkward.
He's 25 years old. Like, I know I don't think there's any G League this year, but
Isaiah Joe bricking it.
Oh my God. Ding Ding is coming to America. Have you seen the Coming to America 2 trailer? It looks amazing. I don't know if anyone has seen that. It looks so funny. Like Martin,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, have you never seen Coming to America?
I mean, I might have, and I just don't remember the title, but I don't know.
It literally has one of the greatest lines where he's like, he's yelling out the window and someone yells, "Fuck you," and he's like, "Fuck you too."
Like, if you watch the trailer, Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall look the same age. It's amazing. They don't look any older.
For real? I'm gonna have to look it up.
It looks so funny. It looks so funny. Really recommend Coming to America too. Trailer. It looks really funny. There's a barbershop scene that looks hilarious. Like, because you have all these guys playing different roles, and did I say Martin Lawrence? I meant Eddie Murphy. Sorry. So Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall playing all these different roles. Wesley Snipes is in it.
Jesus Christ!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Joel Embiid is not in Coming to America.
Dude, this is one of those games. This game feels like what Eagles game where I feel like I wish I was drunk.
Cheers.
Honestly, I stopped drinking, and I wish I would have not stopped. It's just hard to watch. I was really hoping my buddy Corey was going to be able to get on this live stream. He wasn't able to. He's not going to be able to because I really wanted him to withstand this pain with us. Ugh. Tyrese Maxey with a little pull-up. Gotta love that.
One of the things you'll learn, and one of the hardest things you'll learn, is when you're covering the Blue Coats and the Blue Coats lose, and you have to do the post-game show, and like the players don't want to be there, the coach doesn't want to be there, nobody wants to answer questions. That is like a very uncomfortable feeling. So it's something to like look forward to. Like, so it's very awkward.
I get that. So what do you think the problems were tonight? We lost.
Turnovers and lack of presence in the paint. When Dwight Howard went to the bench in foul trouble, the Cavs just beasted with points in the paint. They took advantage of points off turnovers, and that was really it. And the Sixers kind of just dug themselves in the hole and really never were able to find any kind of rhythm on offense. So that's pretty much it.
Arwin, the score of tonight's game so far is 116 Cleveland to 91 for the Sixers. It's not looking good for us at all. It's not looking good for the Sixers at all. Not us, the Sixers. Not a good game. The benches have been laid out for both teams. The Sixers last game scored I believe it was against the Wizard where we scored 40 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
We scored 40 points in one quarter, and the most points we scored in a quarter so far have been 26. So that goes to show you how this team has been playing. And the fact that we've given up almost 30 points in each quarter. We gave up 29 points in the first, 35 points in the second, 29 in the third, and now we are already at 23 in the fourth. So it's just the defense has looked terrible. On top of the turnovers this game, defense has been abysmal. So the fact that this team has scored 116 points on us is just awful.
Go ahead, Quill.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. I'm like talking and not even really. Did Ben even play in the second half? Like, I don't remember him in the second half.
He started, but I'm looking at the box score, and that negative 21 from Ben Simmons is staring at me in the face. Just what a turnaround between how impressive Ben Simmons was versus the Knicks last night, especially defensively. And then with Joel Embiid not playing, you're hoping Ben Simmons, a guy that averages over 20 points a game when Joel Embiid doesn't play, you thought that Ben Simmons would take advantage of that. And, man, I was dead wrong. Dead wrong.
You see that comment about Tristan Thompson?
Also, it's upsetting that fans aren't invited because they'd get to go in and boo Tristan with the Kardashian. I know he did get traded.
So we actually, the Cavs shot 42% from 43% from three this game.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah, just a little bit.
The Sixers gave up 38% on the road from three last year, which was a huge issue. They gave up 27% to the Knicks last night in their first road game, and I was hoping that the defense would lead them in tonight's game like last night, and, man, I was wrong.
I'm not going to say that post games are getting brought away, but you're seeing a lot of the post game getting integrated into the actual broadcast.
Where? You seen that?
On right now. Amy Fadul's interacting with Zoom.
They're trying to get out early, I guess.
No, I think they may not be getting as many views thanks to the painted lines.
I mean, I'm ready to start the post game whenever you are.
I'll start it right now. F. Player of the game was me for watching this shit.
Player of the game was me for watching the ship. So Alex Smith said, where is that? Alex Smith said,
I'm gonna pee before.
Yeah, I'm gonna go as well. It said Embiid sitting third game is not great. Yeah, it's not exactly what you want to see, but it makes sense. It is a back-to-back. it is against the Cleveland Cavaliers, which they probably thought that they'd be able to still handle them without Embiid, and I think they are capable of it, but it seems like the new offense and just the not having a lot of team chemistry kind of is the main thing that happened in this game. So, what do you think about that one, Coyle?
I mean, I'm all right with that. This is a game that you're not worried about. You're going to lose games.
I'm going to the bathroom while you rant.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna lose games throughout the season, and this is a game that you weren't expected to lose, but you're gonna lose. And with that, you have come playoff time. This may be a matchup. If it comes down to like, oh, we should have won one game, then boo-hoo on this game. What's that?
What was the question?
He was asking on some of this with the game, and I was going into boo-hoo on this is a game we should have won. But if we lose, when it comes down to the actual playoffs, it normally isn't going to come down to one game between a seed, right? It's normally going to be especially the seed that we're going to be in. I'm not necessarily worried about this with Embiid sitting today.
No.
So it's not a game where I'm like, oh, he's tired or he's whatever. It's a game where we lost. He sat, we lost. Not a big deal. Some other concerns that I have with some other players, maybe, but I don't know.
All right, do you guys want to get officially into the post-game show so we can get this over with?
Ready when you guys are.
All right, hold on. Let me look. Where am I going? I'm going to brand. I'm going to video clips. Is there a specific one?
TPL Live.
Final video?
Yep.
Got you. All right, guys. We're just going to roll this intro basically into our post-game show so we could split up the videos and then post it later. Stay on. We're still here on the same video, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. What is going on, everybody? This is TPL Live. I am Justin at J_Persichetti on Twitter. That is Dives at Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. This is Chris Coyle at Ruzzer24. Ruzzer24 on Twitter.
Yeah.
Ruzzer, my bad. Anyway, this is the post-game show for the game between the Cavs and the Sixers. Not going to lie, everybody, it did not look good. This was not the kind of game we expected to see today. Coming into the game, we thought it was going to be a Joel Embiid show. At game time decision, Joel was not in the starting lineup. They started Dwight Howard. All around, bad day for Philly fans. Bad day. What do you guys think, Dives? I know this is disappointing. What is your outlook on this game?
Yeah, really, really tough game. I think when you talk about no Joel Embiid, because that guy just cooks against Andre Drummond. He's been 6-1 versus Andre Drummond in his career, nearly 28 points, 12 rebounds. That was the ticket for this game. And when Joel Embiid was announced that he was out, you wanted to see Ben Simmons step up. And I'm talking about a guy that really just kind of fell flat. And I don't know if I'm going to call this one of those worst games of his career, because you look at last night's game versus the New York Knicks, that guy was unstoppable, especially defensively. 28 minutes, 6 turnovers on 4 assists. The Sixers starting lineup had 5 total turnovers versus the Knicks last night. They had 3, 6, 12, 13, 15 turnovers just from the starting lineup tonight. That can't happen. You look at the Sixers' offensive rating in 39 minutes. The Sixers starters had a 100 offensive rating. It's definitely going to go down after tonight's game. But also defensively, you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers had 118 points. You look at the New York Knicks game. The New York Knicks, the Sixers had a defensive rating of 94.8. Yes, it was the Knicks. You look at the road defensive rating last season in 2019-2020, it was, on average, it was 112.1. So there are a lot of things to like against the New York Knicks on the road. Everything that kind of you hated to see versus the Sixers road woes in 2019-2020 kind of just showed their ugly face tonight. So it was a brutal one, man. This was not pretty.
Yeah. How about you, Coyle? How do you feel about this game? What are your outlooks on it? Let us know.
I feel like I'm going to be hungover tomorrow because of how much I had to drink during this game tonight. Like it's absolutely horrendous. The showing that was brought up tonight. Diver gave a lot of stats on some things, but Dwight Howard, him getting into foul trouble so early in this game is insane, and how it affected this team that much. I'm so worried about tomorrow and my ability to work. That's what I'm really worried about, because the amount of alcohol that is coursing through my body right now.
I want to piggyback off what Will just said, because that is a major, major thing. And I'm not saying it's a blueprint to beating the Sixers sans Joel Embiid when Joel Embiid is not on the court, because Dwight Howard has been the spark for this Sixers team. Last night he had 141 offensive rating, 87 defensive rating. His numbers has been terrific. When you saw Dwight Howard go to the bench, you look at a team without Joel Embiid, a legit option on offense. Dwight Howard is one of the best rollmans to the basket in the NBA. That whole option of pick and roll went straight out the window. You saw it from the jump. This team had no flow on offense. There was no rhythm. There was no spacing. The team was just done. And it was just something to kind of keep a mental note of. But it just speaks to how important and vital Dwight Howard is to this Sixers team moving forward. Dwight Howard is a major key to the success of the Sixers.
And I want to bring that back to like how enjoyable the first two games were watching.
Yes.
Comparatively to what this game was. I felt like I was watching last year's Sixers. Like tonight was last year's Sixers watching. I literally instantly went back to that, just, I think, absolute garbage basketball, where even if they would have won tonight, it wasn't enjoyable to watch. There was nothing going on. There was no cohesiveness. There was no plays being run. There was nothing. There wasn't off-the-ball movement. There was just nothing that you watched within this game that made you want to actually stick around and watch this game.
Yeah, and by the way, Gianotto, the score ended up being 118 Cavs, 94 for the Sixers. Not what you want to see. Ultimately, I think obviously Dwight Howard, you can't have those fouls in the beginning of the game. I think he is going to make a big difference for this team. But ultimately, I think that the team missed Joel Embiid. Yeah. The first two games, Joel was really key in those wins and extending leads when they had them. Especially in the first game when they went up against into a clutch game. So not having that 20 to 30-point score is going to make a huge difference in a game, obviously, and plus his defensive presence. So that's something that actually confused me a lot, was the defensive presence in general. I want to get into that, especially the defensive presence that this team is supposed to be known for, and that Doc Rivers has said he wants to live by, that Ben Simmons, Joel both said that they want to live by. it's kind of surprised me that just because Joel was out of the lineup, that defense went down so much.
Yeah.
Why do you guys think that just because Joel's out of the lineup, the defense went from letting a team score like about 100 points to 118? What do you guys think about that? Dibes, why don't you start off with that? Let me know.
I'm going to piggyback off of what Coyle just said. It is without Dwight Howard being a presence in the paint. You look at points in the paint. The freaking Cavaliers outscored the Sixers by 30 points in the paint. 30 points. Let that sink in for just 1 second. That is absolutely ridiculous considering how that is the strength of the Sixers. So no Joel Embiid, no Dwight Howard. You lose your best roller to the basket. He had you look at the Sixers' woes on the road against defending the 3-point shot because they got killed on the road last year against defending the 3-point shot. Teams beat them 38% of it from three on the road last year. You look at the Cavs tonight, they were 39%. So like Coyle said, this was exactly 2019, 2020 over again. And that is just makes me want to just absolutely take all of this game tape and just throw it away and be like, it never happened.
I think something that can be seen really easily as well is typically in a game where Embiid would be in going up against Drummond, Drummond's getting like 3 fouls in the first quarter. Like a lot of times that happens. Drummond had 1 personal foul this whole game, and that should show I think a lot in the statistics. I think something that should be more clear is that Ben Simmons not taking advantage of Joel not being in the paint and driving in there. I think Ben should be that guy getting Drummond into foul trouble in that game. Drummond ended up with 24 points on 14 rebounds. Basically a Joel game with a little bit of less scoring. And that's not Drummond. Drummond is not like that. Part of it is, like we said, because Dwight Howard's not in there, but Ben Simmons really does need to step up in moments like this. And I think that's really what we expected. Coming into this game, I had him getting a triple-double.
Yeah. You're going up against Colin Sexton and Derrick Young. You would think that Ben Simmons would just attack, and get those guys in mismatches in the paint. Did we see that at all tonight?
I think you saw him getting into the paint tonight, but what the biggest issue, I think, was that when he got into the paint, he was not looking to score. He was looking to pass. And you saw that throughout most of the game when he was in there, is he would get into the restricted area, jump up with his feet up. And we talked about this a little bit during the game, jump up and look for a pass. And a lot of times that turned into a turnover. And it's unfortunate because
and I think that has a lot to do with how Ben's thinking. For him, with him being like, oh, if I'm going to be attacking, we're going to start drawing in. I'm going to start seeing a lot of that drop, especially with Joel not being in the game. And you didn't see it happen because there was no presence.
Yeah.
With anything, like they didn't have to, like the whole Dwight Howard not being in this game literally changed this, and it literally comes back to not having a offensive inside presence that normally allows those open threes and those different things. And we definitely saw open threes tonight, but we're still not hitting our threes. And
I will say that was one of our obvious big issues there is the fact that it's even when those 3-pointers were open and Ben was getting the ball to him, or we were swinging it around the horn, getting the ball to open 3-point shooters, they weren't dropping. I mean, you can even look at it like this and saying Seth Curry was 2 for 7 from 3. We have Furkan going 0 for 5.
How many?
Mike's got 3 for 7. What's up?
Did he step out of bounds tonight?
I don't think he did. I don't think he stepped out of bounds tonight.
All right, that was my first stats pull of Furkan is always any out of bounds. So we're already a plus on that. But
I will say Tobias had a better game today, which was nice to see, but it obviously didn't end up equating to anything.
You know who didn't have a good game? Danny Green. Danny Green has 12 total points in 3 games so far for the Sixers.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's be honest, he hasn't really had he hasn't had any good offensive good games yet during the first 3 games of the season. He's played decent team defense, I've noticed, but I think we have other shooters on this team that should be able to produce from the 3-point line. I don't think we just have to be relying on Danny Green in that position. I think our shooters like Furkan and Seth, who are supposed to be our shooters, need to play better in this kind of game.
I want to go back and legit look at how many open threes Danny Green has missed within these first 3 games. Because legit, he is getting straight up open threes. Like 5 people 5 feet away from him and being able to shoot. And I'm still, he's going to hit. I'm really starting to, is he going to hit? After 3 games of just seeing like wide open threes. Like these aren't like threes in someone's face. Like these are straight up wide open threes.
Speaking of wide open threes, Furkan Korkmaz is 1 for 10 in the last 2 games from 3.
Yeah, and I mean we know that like when it comes to shooters, we know there's gonna be ups and downs, especially for guys like Danny Green and Furkan Korkmaz. It's unfortunate because with how much spacing they're getting, it should be easier done than not done. And I think that's what's frustrating. And I think this is a good point from Mark Wenger here. Bad games like this are some of the best games for teaching points and showing areas of improvement. I agree. And I think that's how you have to look at this kind of a game. But it is still frustrating because we know what some of these players are capable of. No matter what the offense is, we know Ben Simmons is capable of bringing balls to the rim. We know Seth Curry, Furkan Korkmaz, Shake Milton, they're capable of getting an offense going and making shots, and that just didn't happen today. And I think that's more or less why it's disappointing. Something that I also noticed is Shake Milton only shot the ball 6 times today and went 2 for 6 with a minus 22 score of the game. And it's like somebody like that who, when Joel is out of the game, I expect to step up in that situation. It kind of surprised me. And I don't know if that is because offense, how Doc Rivers has the offense. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think that is?
Yeah. So I want to kind of talk about that. I think that has a lot to do with him not knowing, being new into the NBA, where you have Shake, and Shake's never been an attack first. He's always been a kind of, we'll sit back, we'll shoot. But when you have Joel Embiid, who's literally just taking lanes, and you're seeing all the floor in the world, you're going to start attacking more. And when you don't have that, you're not seeing Shake take those different types of paths, or you're not seeing him start to, go in there, have a little bit more room, and then take that jump back that he's used to saying. So, your thoughts?
It's very much related to Dwight Howard not being on the court with Shake Milton, because Shake Milton thrives in the pick and roll with a big rolling to the basket. Not having that guy, I liked what I saw from Tony Bradley in the first half. He actually showed some impressive defense, but let's be real here. There's a reason why too much Tony Bradley is a problem. Especially
you will never say that ever. Tony Bradley boys, what?
Shake not having that kind of pick and roll weapon in his arsenal. Shake Milton is a terrific pick and roll player. And what's interesting to see over these last 2 games compared to the first 2 preseason games and that home opener is that in the beginning you saw Shake Milton facilitate the pick and roll more. And then these last 2 games, you're seeing Shake Milton really play off ball more. So I think Shake Milton needs to be driving to the basket way more often than we've seen these last 2 games. I'm not sure why that is. I said over and over again that this is like kind of the most fun aspect of this team is Doc Rivers figuring out who is off ball and who is on ball between Tyrese Maxey and Shake Milton. And that's just something to keep an eye on. But Shake Milton needs to run that pick and roll. That guy thrives in the pick and roll.
This comment's interesting to me. In my opinion, it says by Matthew, it says, I'm assuming in my opinion, I think we played sloppy, but I feel like this game is good for us. So we know what to do when Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons is out. I think we've learned I don't necessarily think we've learned what to do. I think we've learned that what not to do and like what we need to be better at. Like, I think we did things in this game that could be beneficial when Joe is not in the game. I think the problem is our execution of those things.
We had one game where they looked poor. The starting lineup looked poor. Then we had a next game where the starting lineup looked great. And then we had a third game where Joel Embiid was out. That's not a sample size, guys. So let's not pretend that we actually have a sample size to really kind of uncover and discover what is going on with the starting lineup and how efficient they can be. My only point with that is we don't know. And I think Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons are everything for the Sixers moving forward. And in terms of making that next step, taking that next step in their development and getting past the second round in the playoffs. But like Chris Dunn here says, we learned nothing this game. If you don't have Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, the team is just an average team.
I also don't agree with what Chris said. Like we talked before, the last two comments, we're talking about a learning experience. This isn't Brett Brown. We have a coaching tree now that is allowing us to be able to actually adjust and take some things from this game and put it into play with the team. I strongly believe Doc Rivers will look at this game as a straight up learning experience for a lot of things, because we even got excited, and I'm going to say we did. Look, we looked at this bench and we were like, oh, my pants got a little tight in the back because of this bench. We need to calm ourselves down a little bit and say, hey, is this bench as good as what we thought it is? But once again, is this a different game when you have Joel in the game and you're running a certain offense and you're running certain things?
I think with that, I think this game is different, just in the fact that there's no way Drummond is in this game as much as he is if Joel's playing. Once again, we touched on it before. Drummond had one personal foul this whole game, and typically Drummond is like in foul trouble at the end of games when he goes up against Embiid. So I think that makes a big difference, and also with the fact that Embiid is a walking like 27 and 15. So obviously, add 27 points to this score, it's a lot different. So. But now I want to get into this. There's something strange with Doc's offense. I can't put my finger on it. We've talked a lot in games about Furkan getting the ball a little bit more than we would expect. We talked a lot about just in general about the different guard play that we've noticed from years past with Brett Brown. What do you guys think about Doc's offense? What do you think is going to change? What do you think about it in general?
I think you're going to see shots being hit.
Say it one more time, Quill.
That's some things that you're normally used to seeing with Doc's offenses. When you get a pick and roll coming off, a shot is made. Like it we are missing so many open shots. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my take on it. It's like Doc's offense works. You've seen it work over and over and over and over and over again. But you don't see us making shots. Like,
and do you think us not making shots has more to do with the newness of the offense to some of the players who've been working in Brett Brown's offense for the past 3 years? Or do you think that it has more to do with just bad execution from players who are just subpar?
I honestly think it's a surprise that they're that open. Like when you're used to not being, yes, you can hit shots in practice. Yes, you can do things. I honestly don't think these players are like, wait, what's like, it's an adjustment when there's normally a player in your face and you're doing it in practice. Because when you're in practice, right? So when you're in practice and you're doing all these plays, the defensive plays is long. They know the plays, right? So they're going to cheat. As your coach can tell you, stop cheating on the play. Stop cheating on the play. They know the play. They're going to be cheating on plays. They're going to be doing things. So there's going to be a player in their face putting their hands up. There's going to be a player going up and being that. You're going to see these players start hitting wide open shots only because they're wide open. But if it's starting to come where players are getting videotape and they're starting seeing things and you're getting players in their hands, they're getting their hands in their face and they're starting to see this. You're going to see the normal. This is what I'm used to seeing. As I come off this is what I'm used to seeing. And as much as you want to say, like, basketball is a straight up, this is what I do. It's very rhythm. I do this every single time. And if I don't do this and I don't see this, it's kind of weird to me. If I don't see this background, it's weird to me. Which is why who was the stadium that had like that weird ring that like the shots were literally a different percentage because they didn't have a ring or they had like a different background. It was a college stadium. I can't think of what it was, but because of how the bowl sat, it made the ring seem further away, no matter where you shot from, and the percentages were so down.
All right, so Dibes, what do you think about this? Do you think it's Doc? Do you think something's strange with Doc's offense? Because I know especially you have commented on Furkan getting a lot of moments with the ball in his hands. What do you think?
Yeah, having Furkan Korkmaz be
we cannot hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you then. My audio just went out. Keep talking. Go ahead.
All right. Furkan Korkmaz being a creator in the pick and roll is definitely puzzling. So that is definitely something that I didn't expect. We saw in the preseason, we saw in so far through 3 games for sure. But one of the things that like I'm most puzzled on is the Sixers getting out rebounded, especially with offensive boards. You have the Knicks last night having more offensive boards than the Sixers. You have the Cavaliers getting more offensive boards than the Sixers tonight. That's where I go, is when you have a team that has size, that they should be built to really outmuscle these kind of teams like the Cavaliers. That's where my concern is. Part of 50% of my heart just says throw this game out and just chalk it up to a team that has a new coach, a new scheme, a new supporting cast. They just missed their best player. I don't want to look into this as much as I should. The other part of me is it looks like Doc Rivers is still trying to figure it out himself, as he should. And we look at who is going to be on the court with 5 minutes remaining. What is Tyrese Maxey's role? Is he better on ball? Is he better off ball? We look at Dwight Howard's impact on that second unit. He was really the foundation of why the bench was so strong. So there are so many variables. This is like talking about the Eagles all over. A lot of variables. Is there something wrong with Doc Rivers' offense? I don't think so, because we've seen the Sixers miss a ton of wide open shots, like Coyle said. We've seen a ton of threes rim out, go in and out again and again. I really don't want to look into this that much. It's one game where variables are on the table that won't present themselves moving forward. I think the one thing that I want to see improve is the starting lineup with that many turnovers is really concerning. When you have a starting lineup with 13-something turnovers, like that to me is Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons was almost checked out tonight. I don't know what was going on. Was he pressing or what? But that is a very big concern because you look at last year when in the playoffs with Joel Embiid and no Ben Simmons during the playoffs versus the Celtics, like that team didn't have a chance. They got swept. But this was like, I honestly thought that Ben Simmons was the engine for this team. I thought you would see more pace today. You would see a faster pace today with Ben Simmons, like you said, Justin, a triple-double. Like, how many points off turnovers did the Cleveland Cavaliers, like, it was almost like an exact opposite of what I expected tonight. So that's my little spiel.
No, and I understand that completely. And like, I think the biggest thing that we need to understand, and that Doc has been saying, and like you just mentioned, Chris, was that it seems like he is still trying to figure things out, and that's to be expected. He's been saying pretty frequently, and the players have even been saying that the offense is still not figured out, and they need to win games right now with the defensive end. And I think that's what surprised me the most is that defensively we looked awful.
Wow.
And so if this is how it's gonna be, and we're gonna struggle this much offensively, I think defensively they need to show that they're gonna be elite. And today against a Cavaliers team that honestly, that their talent isn't even without Joel Embiid on the floor is not up to par with ours. I thought we were going to be able to handle them a lot better.
Yeah.
This is a funny comment here. The season is over. We should just flop and go for a number 1 draft pick. I mean, listen, it's not too late to do that. It's not too late. Something that I think is
basketball. Does Jamar Chase play basketball? Anybody know?
So this is something that we've been pretty against this stream and for the past few streams. But Dives, I want you to get a load of this one. You guys want to talk about this, or are we leaving this alone?
I'm not talking about it.
No.
I think that's sarcasm.
No, that's definitely sarcasm.
Oh, it definitely is.
But
in general, I think like all around, what are our things that you guys want to see next game? What is the big thing you want to see fixed for the next game?
I would like to see Joel Embiid next game.
Agreed.
Agreed. Like that's really.
It's about cutting down the turnovers. It's about giving a better effort, hustling for offense boards. It's about not getting Dwight Howard in foul trouble. All those things. Shake the ball in his hands. Period. Come on, Doc. I love Tyrese Maxey as much as the next guy. But Shake Milton needs the ball in his hands in the pick and roll. Period. Him, White, period. Pick and roll. That is a no-brainer. I don't understand why they kind of have been going against it these last 2 days. I think Doc is trying to figure it out, or perhaps the logical answer is Dwight Howard is only prepping him to play off ball next to Ben Simmons in the starting lineup moving forward, or he's trying to boost Furkan Korkmaz's trade value, which is doing the exact opposite right now. So I got just it. You can't have that many turnovers. You can't have that many turnovers and expect to win. If you're going to get killed on the offensive glass, in the paint, and have all these points off turnovers, you have no shot, none.
Nope. And turnovers is the big thing, right? When you watch good basketball, they don't turn the ball over. Like, why have these last games been so fun to watch? No turnovers. It's not sloppy basketball. It's not that, you're seeing people running down the court and then just giving up the ball and it coming back the other way. Good basketball comes off of not turning the ball over, and that's really the thing I want to see. I've enjoyed these last few games because we haven't been turning the ball 20 times over in the first half. And that's really what tonight was. Why it brought me back to last year is this was last year basketball, where you're just running down the court and here's the ball. Let's go the other way.
I think this comment is pretty telling to what we need to think about this. The Joe Show says, there's no need to panic. Got to remember how many preseason games the NBA played. Going to be rusty and things will get figured out. I completely agree. I think that's a great way of saying it. And I think that's honestly all that needs to be chalked up for this game. I will say Mike Missinelli disagrees and saying, thinking with Harden, Sixers would have more than 48 at the half against the Cavs. So Mike
Missinelli also lives in 1970s basketball, so he's been absolutely wrong in everything that he's talked about. A lot of things. So he can.
Anybody know how many championships James Harden has? Like, what am I missing here?
Yeah.
Like, please, like, I fully agree with Brian, the Joe Show. Like, please, please, please throw this game tape out and let's realistically look at this and let this team grow. I've been saying this from the show started. Like, there is no reason to just jump the gun. Just let it play out. Let it play out. The pieces are there. I promise you. The pieces are there. Let's wait and see how the starting lineup gels together. Let's wait and see with their second unit. It's crazy to me that people are just so gung-ho on just stripping this entire, not only the depth on this team, but future draft picks and really just start over. Like, you're complaining about this team doesn't have chemistry. What happens when you make that kind of trade? You don't have chemistry. You don't have a bench. You don't have a guy that can defend. Like, it's just like, people are just, you be careful what you wish for.
So what do you guys think about this? How do you think the Sixers will react to this at training camp or training? Sorry, just practice in general. How do you think that they react to this loss? How do you think they bounce back from this?
A lot. I think that you're actually going to see players learn. They're going to be taught on something. Like, it's going to be a coaching group that actually trains on these type of games. It's not going to be like, all right, well, let me do the same offense. And that was one of the things with Brett Brown that you saw. And I love Brett Brown. I was a Brett Brown fan. I wanted Brett Brown to just succeed. But you just have a different coaching group now that is going to train on what needs to be trained. You're going to have tonight, they're going to watch video and they're going to say, hey, we know that we can't do this. Howard, you can't, on nights when Joel's out, you can't be aggressively going after balls that you normally go after when you're only playing 15 minutes a night. Like, you need to pull back a little bit and allow that basket because I need you for the next 5 to 10 minutes. So you're going to see a lot of coaching and a lot of things that are going to happen that are going to move this team into this game is going to be won going forward.
I would love to be a fly on the wall between Ben Simmons and Dave Yeager and figure out what happened on defense tonight. Outside of that, like I said from the beginning, like, I'm not even like, this is one of those games I throw out and be like, let's move on to Toronto on Tuesday night.
Yep.
While we get our last thoughts about this game and what we want for the coming up, guys, put in the comments any questions you have. We'll answer as many as we can before we get off of here. So in all, final thoughts about this. What just in general, final thoughts, anything.
Oh, baby. What a day. What a day for Philadelphia sports. Eagles are out of the playoffs versus the Cowboys. The Sixers got a brutal loss versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. One day at a time. But my final thought here is that the Sixers do have a really good team. The Sixers do have a really good team, a roster that's constructed to be built around Ben and Joel. Not the Eagles. I think they have a serious mess. But the Sixers, just throw this away and look forward to Tuesday because I think you're going to see a much better and improved team after today. I don't even want to spend as much time as we have on this game. This is one of those games just forget. And from the jump, you saw it. Forget it. Tuesday night, let's go.
Corey, what about you? Any final thoughts on today in general?
Does anybody know a at-home IV place to get me some fluids from after the garbage football and basketball that I watched today so that I can feel good tomorrow? Anybody comment in the comment below because I'm gonna need it after the amount of garbage intake that I had. But no, I'm looking forward to watching quality basketball going forward in this year. I mean, we're gonna have a couple games like this. We're gonna have some learning stuff, but I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay, and I'm excited to watch good basketball for the next year. Like it's going to be some quality basketball that's going forward, and I'm excited about it.
The voices didn't work, Coyle. The voices didn't work.
Well, we weren't holding to it. It's just as well.
That's true. We're not holding to the voices.
We need to work on his voice. That's what it is.
In a world,
is he? Why he knows how to do it.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna get going here. Let's do some plugs. First, I'm gonna plug the channel. So, guys, if you are not already, subscribe to the channel, please. We have all kinds of Sixers content going on. We are, like Dibe said earlier in the stream, we post about 3 Sixers videos a day. We got a lot of stuff going on over here. Eagles, Sixers, Phillies, Flyers, you name it. We got movie reactions. We got what else we got, Dibes? You want to talk about the channel a little bit real quick?
Yeah, got some golf going on.
We got what?
Some golf.
Golf. We have a Pull the Pin tomorrow, 3:30 East Coast time. They're doing a review of the PGA Tour, everything that happened in 2020, and a preview of 2021 moving forward. Then we have the Daily Dose at 5 with Dylan Davis, Dylan JD98 on Twitter. Give him a follow. And then 6 p.m. tomorrow, we have the Sixers mailbag with Jason Blevins, Austin Krell, and Kai Carlin of USA Today, answering all of your Sixers questions. Just a super insightful basketball podcast. If you want to literally know the nuts and bolts of basketball, ask your questions. They will break it down way better than I could ever imagine to. But we will be back. Party on Broad every Tuesday night, although I think they play the Raptors Tuesday night, so that might change. But anyway, I just want to say thank you to everyone who commented, liked, subscribed. You guys are the best. We have an actual audience here from everyone here. Just so humble. Thank you who contribute to our YouTube channel. Thank you.
We truly appreciate it. I don't think anybody who's watching right here understands completely how often we gush about how happy we are that people are coming back and we have daily viewership coming on here and talking with us on a daily basis, and we love it. We love having you guys. Thank you for coming out. Chris, you have anything you want to plug?
No.
I
want to plug you guys. You guys have been doing great work in everything that you've done. TPO is just putting out some quality stuff. I want to plug the fans, like everyone in that chat group, because I like the chat group. I like to get in there and mix it out with you guys. So I want to plug you guys a little bit. Keep it up. Do some things. Do some interactions. Type in. Get your fingers going, and love it. I love it. Yeah.
My God.
Get the fingers going.
All right. How about you, Dibes? Anything you want to plug?
I already did.
Plug yourself. I'm
going to plug my man, Justin, who just did his first host of the Painted Lines podcast. My man, J_Persichetti. Well done, Justin.
Thank you.
Great job.
I wish we had some better gameplay for my first time, but I mean, what are you gonna do? But I appreciate the opportunity. Listen, for everybody here at the Painted Lines, we appreciate you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment on the video. We'll be down there. Love you guys. Have a good one. For Dibes, for myself, for Chris Coyle, we'll see you guys